The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Football Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. This program starts right now. Football is back in the topic of discussion because OTAs are taking place all around the league. We have a little bit of drama. Who's pissed off about their contracts? Ooh, we shall chat about it. We have some players balling out, doing no-look passes. Ooh, we'll take a look at it, and also we'll feel the beat with a couple different teams that have some storylines developing in the second hour. We will go to Cincinnati. What's going on with T. Higgins and Joey Burrow?
Gotta find out.
We'll talk to Kelsey Conway, who I think is a big fan of ours.
Yep.
That's right. Good news.
Right before I go live, everybody tells me she's not a fan of the program because of something that happened with the situation with the contract interview with Jamar Chase. Kelsey's been on the show before. She's been great.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I just want to let Kelsey know, if you're listening or watching out there right now, I was walking right onto the stage, excited for a chat, and then I was reminded, hey, the whole, that's if it comes up. Kelsey would love to have a chat about it.
Yeah.
Would also love to chat about the Cincinnati Bengals. That should be fun. That's in the second hour. Matt Schneidman from The Athletic will be on talking about the Green Bay Packers. Are they ever going to pay Jordan Love?
Yeah, they are.
Are they ever going to pay this guy?
Done.
Jeez, the disrespect that Jordan Love has had to go through.
Easy.
Make it happen. Why did it happen?
Why are they delaying? What's the
Let's
deal?
not start
Ridiculous.
this again.
And then, obviously, in Pittsburgh, there's two quarterbacks. Do you have one quarterback? If you have two, some say no. They say yes. Mark Caboli will join us from The Athletic in the second hour. Cannot wait for that chat. And then Joe Pavelski from the Dallas Stars, Captain America, will join us in the third hour on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok, which is still a thing.
Let's go.
That clock is ticking, though. That clock is ticking. We need somebody with a lot of money to buy that thing so it can continue to run. In about 14 minutes or so, we'll be joined by Emmy Award winner Kirk Herbstreit.
Wow. Keith Kirkwood?
Yeah, we will talk to Keith Kirkwood about the sports Emmys that got pulled from his house.
Of course.
For all the other wins that College Game Day had. But we'll certainly chit-chat about the one that Game Day won last night. Congrats to Kirk and the entire team.
Absolutely.
Congrats to you.
Hey, my name was mentioned in there. At Sports. Those suits had to be so mad. Oh, my God. The people that vote on those are literally the people that I hate and hate. They hate. And it's a reciprocated.
Two-way street.
It is a reciprocated thing. So anytime you see an award, you have to wonder, like, who's giving that award out? Do you respect their opinion? Do you appreciate their opinion? Well, in the TV world, sports TV world, especially if you see all the people that attended at Sports Emmys last night, a lot of people take that very serious and are very, very pumped up about it. The College Game Day crew is certainly more than deserving. That is a great group of people behind the scenes. They're like a family. They work their asses off. Jimmy G needed to get a haircut. Before last night's conversation, gave a great speech about Coach Corso and the rest of the crew. Lucky to be a part of that, but we'll talk to Kirk Herbstreit, whose name was not mentioned on the stage. My Jimmy G.
James.
That was awesome. It was cool. Congrats to the Game Day crew. Congrats to everybody who won last night.
Yeah,
I know it's a big
Congrats,
deal.
everybody.
I know it's a big deal. The talk table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet shirt today, Connor.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wasn't really looking for anything this morning just because there was no reason to come.
Yeah, there was.
What?
The Pacers were supposed to go into TD Garden with their little shovel and their hoe and maybe even a weed whacker and their way through all of Boston. Now, obviously the Pacers proved that they should have beat the Celtics last night, that they could have beat the Celtics last night, that they will beat the Celtics, obviously, but they really pissed that thing away at the very end. Couldn't inbound a ball, obviously. Pascal Siakam gets it batted away, and then he goes, and then all of a sudden Jaylen Brown makes an impossible shot on the Pacers bench. With Siakam literally in his entire face and grill, knocks it down. If you listen to any interview after the game, feels like Jaylen Brown is the leader of this team, by the way. I know Jay Tatum,
Jay Tatum
is who PK talks about, and Tatum certainly had a big late fourth quarter into the overtime. He was kind of absent there for a while, but Brown making that shot is absurd, but obviously it was the basketball gods punishing the Pacers for making decisions that they were making there late. But as I was watching that game, I was thinking to myself, when Tyrese Halliburton pulls up from the actual logo,
my God,
and that is Splash City, I'm like, okay, things are falling here. And then at the end of the third quarter, Tyrese Halliburton gets caught in an uncomfortable situation. He does a running forward driveway basketball shot. Boom. Back, front of rim, falls. It's like Pacers are winning. Like, basketball gods are blessing this Pacers team. Little old in it, bang, bang, boom, pow, boom, falls. It's like, well, if that's falling, that is good news for everybody. TJ McConnell was putting the knockoff TJ McConnell in a blender. Showed him this is how you play basketball, kid. If you're going to be the next me, which is what they're saying Pritchard is going to be, well, you're going to have to follow suit. I don't know who made this graphic.
Great photo. That was when
potentially
TJ
fired.
That's when TJ got crossed up. Yep.
Potentially fired. This is a fireable offense because this is literally the only time on the entire evening in which TJ McConnell was chasing Peyton Pritchard. Whoever did this is gone. I hope you're happy. Hope you're happy, Mitt. Hope you're happy, Mitt.
Get out, Mitt.
It's over, Mitt.
Get out, Mitt.
The narrative we're pushing is not the same narrative every other sports media is pushing.
He's a Pacers fan, too.
Yeah, what the hell's he doing? I think he looks good. He's putting pressure on him, is what Mitt will say. Nonetheless, TJ McConnell, fantastic. Nemhard, dude, this guy can't inbound a pass, obviously. That wasn't a great situation with what they were doing. But he was just so silky smooth. And then when you talk about Miles Turner, going into the game, he was actually leading everybody this postseason with at least 40 three-point attempts in shooting percentage from three. I said yesterday he'd been shooting like Steph Curry. That's real.
For sure.
Yesterday he hit a little Jay Tatum step back three splash. It's like Miles Turner, who's a 7-footer from Texas, who I think for a while they were trying to have him bang underneath and everything like that. He's got a stroke from outside. He's a massive weapon for us. Our team was ready to get that win, and then obviously complete meltdown with about a minute left in the game, and then we go into overtime. We can't hit anything. They can. Tatum comes alive. But there was certainly some stats that you would look at and ponder about what the hell's going on.
I love it. I love this.
Let's look at Hembo's tweet. We love interesting stats from Hembo. He's big brain, got a deep database of numbers that he can reach into. The Pacers attempted 3 free throws in the first 48 minutes of game one. The Celtics, same exact time, 23.
Okay.
The Pacers went 38 minutes and 38 seconds of game time without attempting any free throws at all. Oh, are they just so technically sound on the Boston side that they're not making any contact with any phantom calls could be called in an NBA official? Now, I saw Tony Brothers out there, which you guys should have been correcting me that entire time. His name is not Tony Peters.
Thought it was Peters as well.
Tony Brothers was, managing the game well. Pacers had the lead all the way up until literally the final 8 seconds of the game when Jaylen Brown does this thing. We had to make some massive comebacks, did with no help of the officials. But you look at those numbers, you start wondering yourself, wait a minute, is that whole uninvited guest thing real that Rick Carlisle was talking about?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to complain. I don't want to complain about it.
You are, but
I'm not complaining about it. This is Hembo. I didn't tell. You think I called Hembo and said, hey, Hembo, isn't it a little funny that I haven't seen a single fucking Pacer at the foul line? I didn't say that.
Did Hembo tell you to make the graphic too?
Well, I certainly said, look, we need to make this graphic.
Okay. Just checking.
And this is a different graphic maker. Obviously, this one, congratulations, is going to be around for a while. Mitt.
Nice run.
For that TJ McConnell chasing Peyton Pritchard. I do like the way Peyton Pritchard plays.
Yes.
I like the way he moves. I like the wiggle on that guy. But TJ McConnell's playing at a different level right now, and I think Peyton Pritchard and him will be a good battle. But this whole thing is quite a conversation piece now. What is the deal? And I'm sure Rick Carlisle will pull from it. Rick Carlisle also said, this is my fault that we lost this game. Should have called timeout, should have advanced the ball on the other side. Then it doesn't even matter. We could have done something different. I like that he'll love them up whenever they need it, and then he'll bury them when they don't. I think the Pacers come back in a big way, but I think last night proved this can be a good series, which I'm pumped about because the Celtics were minus 1,000 to win this series and literally 8 seconds away from the Pacers knocking off game one. Instead, Boston steals one at home, which is wild.
Yeah, I worry that it's not going to be a good series just because of the fact that, they did go 7 games to the Knicks. Now game one's going to overtime. Last night I was more worried about that game than any of the other ones coming up here because of the fact that there was that massive layup playoff, and the Pacers are riding this emotional high, and for that emotional high to just get absolutely slit in the throat, you could say. And it's great, up 5 with 1:30 left, and they should have won the game, not to mention the missed layups at the end. But you mentioned Tatum. He did have some times where he wasn't there, but 10 points in overtime. When it matters most, he steps up. Halliburton forgot how to dribble a couple times. I mean, that isn't going to help him. But
well, hold on. Both those times where Halliburton lost the ball, where was it at? Do we have a?
It was left side of the court on the fan end here.
Oh, it was hard cam side.
Yep.
Right about half court there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Both times.
Yeah.
Let's check the wood. Yeah. Let's check the wood at the Garden. I didn't know we'd be having to worry about the wood at TD Garden or Eastern Conference. But there's a chance at the woods. Maybe
his knee.
Yeah, no, Pac, don't worry.
It was a dead bounce.
A lot of excuses. We know he kicked the ball. We know his
dead bounce right there.
We know he was nervous because Drew Holiday was on him, but Tyrese Halliburton's unbelievable. And same with Miles Turner. Like when I was watching, I thought, okay, maybe there is a chance that this thing isn't, a real 10-point spread game. This is much closer. Celtics come out 12-0 run, and then the Pacers just showed like, hey, absolutely, we can go down, but we can come back just as well. There were a couple times where both the Celtics and the Pacers went on 8-0, 9-0 runs in 40 seconds. And all of a sudden, whatever lead there was on either side. It was great. Yeah, it was awesome. Because whatever lead there was, even though those basketball games can be kind of, not annoying, but slow, like the Timberwolves and Nuggets game. The Nuggets were up 20, and it was a slow build back for the T-Wolves. Like this one, when the Pacers were up 8 or the Celtics were up 10, 13, in a heartbeat, it felt like the other team just kind of turned it on its head. But it's a great game. It's a great series. I worry that this loss is a little too much for the Pacers.
I mean, it could be devastating.
It's truly. It kind of reminds me of when the Cavs lost to the Warriors with the J.R. Smith thing, when they almost stole
dribbled the wrong
game
way.
1. Yeah, and he dribbled the wrong way. He thought the score was different, and then obviously it was a gentleman's sweep for the Warriors. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. Very, very impressed with the Pacers. What kind of sucks is that it feels as though they're not going to get any respect no matter what. So even when the Celtics win, it's going to be like, are the Celtics going to be able to do this?
You should have seen, bro. So, 30 seconds left in that game.
Yeah.
I'll leave the bedroom. Mm-hmm. Go out the living room.
Sure.
Turn the lights on. Mm-hmm. Turn the game on.
Sure.
I got video selfie open. Open.
Yeah.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So many people were about to get it. Sports books were going to get it, obviously, for -1,000. Celtics going to win this series. Boston was going to get it just because they were playing against the Celtics. I was even going to take a shot at Joe Mazzulla about how, hey, you want to roll around. You don't think Coach Carlisle could put you in a fucking rear naked choke right now if he wanted to. I was going to the absurd things that were going to come. And then it was all inevitably going to end up with the New York Knicks.
Ooh.
Where it was like, only beat you guys because you're only were able to win. And then we go into Boston, game 1, and beat the hell out of it. Being down, didn't blink, answer. I mean, I had the brain was just like, let's get to 0.
Vibing.
Let's get to. Now, with the Hulu app, it's 15 seconds ahead.
Oh, nice.
When you have cable, it is 15 seconds behind.
Really? Oh, shit.
So, game ended in bedroom, which has Hulu, before ended in living room.
No.
Sam goes, oh, no, in bedroom.
Oh, jeez.
So what's happening? Then I'm watching it unfold, and it's like, and then as soon as it gets overtime, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're an absolute deep. That was in between my wife saying, oh, no, in a different room, and me being on a different cable provider. What do we won the game? What are we talking? And we lose. And inevitably, there's some more stats that I just maybe got sent to me.
Oh, okay. Guess I hate Paul now.
Second half of that game, 15 free throws for the Boston Celtics, 1 for the Indiana Pacers. You tell me, D-Butt, 9-year NFL vet, that sounds alarming. That sounds
what are the defensive ranks?
We know stats. You can make stats anywhere. And if you know me.
Make stats anywhere.
I don't. You can make them do whatever you want to do. I don't bitch about the refs. We had a chance.
Thank
As
you,
a Pacer, I root for the Pacers in this series, but we tricked it off. We pissed down our leg. Obviously, Halliburton had to choke, hoodie on after Game 7, and we just choked at the end. We got to get a better shot there at the end of regulation, obviously. And then Jaylen Brown just made 2 unbelievable plays with the steal, knocking it out first, and then that 3-pointer in the corner was nuts. So Rick Carlisle, he tried to take blame, and then I think Halliburton, he obviously took the blame, but could be devastating. It could be devastating if the Pacers weren't so damn good at home. I don't think they lost a game at home, I think, since March 18th. I heard Austin Rivers say, which is insane. So, obviously want to still win in Boston. Still got a chance to do that, but it'll be a long series.
Yeah, we're playing 5-on-8. We're used to it. So I'm not bitching. I'm not bitching about it either.
You are bitching.
I'm not bitching. I'm just pointing out stats.
Let's look at the rankings of the teams.
I'm
on
just
defense.
looking at the stats.
I see the stats. I know what the stats are, but when the Pacers are going to the cup, they're not going strong. Okay, you see a lot of this, and I get it.
What
okay,
is the deal with how big Tatum is? By the way, that guy should not be as big as he is.
He's a big son of a bitch.
Why is he so large? That is absurd to think about. T.J. McConnell, who is a professional basketball player.
Wrapping him up around his knees.
Yeah,
bingo.
He tried to grab his arms. He was reaching straight up like this. Jay Tatum wasn't really around much. It was more Jaylen Brown, but I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, the style of play. But those stats right there are obviously going to get pointed out by anybody who has two eyes and watch the game. It's like Pacers definitely blew this. 1,000,000%. Yeah. Pacers are saying, we're saying it. Indiana fans that are watching and Pacer fans that are watching that game, and they're up way late. This game ended late. And then goes to overtime. And then as soon as the game's over, you got to go to a full celebration about the Celtics on TV. And it's like, we're supposed to steal this one. Yeah. It was a long night last night.
Yep.
Nobody was talking about the refs here in Indiana. Just would like that to be known.
Yeah.
Just a stat has shown up in our face the next morning where it's like, okay, so we blow it and we're getting screwed. Sweet. Can't wait for game number 2. NBA officials, you guys did a great job.
Yep.
At NBA refs, official NBA refs, you guys did a great job. Now, 12-year NFL vet, Universal Records signed rapper, a man whose newest single, All the Smoke, dropped at midnight this morning. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
I believe we'll be running the music video for All the Smoke later this next hour, I do believe. You crushed it on that. Song's a good one, Pac. You should be good. You should feel very good, I think, about All the Smoke here.
Feel real good. Out right now, all platforms, The Real Pac-Man Jones, video on the YouTube. I feel good about it. Tonight we're going to have an after party for the American Dream Tour. Me and Jody will get to perform. Who else on there? I got Young Sin, who's going to perform, which is signed to 21 Savage, and Mute Baby, who will perform too. So it'll be a good night tonight. So a lot of stars going to be in the building.
Where's this at?
It's downtown Cincinnati. At
downtown Cincinnati.
Downtown Cincinnati.
Downtown Cincinnati.
You'll find it.
Yeah,
pull up.
Pull up. Yeah, absolutely. Jody Breeze is going to be there. I haven't heard from Jody Breeze in a good bit.
Yeah.
He comes out the gate strong and all strong.
He does.
He looks cool too.
Still got it.
Yeah, he still got it.
Yeah, he definitely does. Song's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All the smoke is what seemingly the Celtics want, from the Indiana Pacers.
That's right. And you mentioned the celebration after. It didn't feel like a celebration on the Celtics players' end. They realized it.
And Brown threw his headset.
Yeah, exactly. They're pissed off. So it's a whole new Celtics team going.
Quiet in there too.
What do you mean?
TD Garden was a little.
Yeah, a lot of people bitching that ESPN is kind of just blocking out the crowd noise from the Garden because it's too loud, but also at the same time, it's like, why? You don't really need that on the TV copy. I obviously would like to hear it, but it's more so about the energy in the building that I care about. So
I like to hear crowd noise.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
You're saying they're saying ESPN's, because I just thought it was quiet in the arena. My natural thought is, it's quiet in the arena.
No, they were shutting it down. I mean, you knew right off the tip, actually, because after the first play, we go down and score after we steal the ball, and then Al Horford blocks somebody, and he's running the fast break, but they called it a basket. Al Horford couldn't even hear the whistle, and then he actually ran by the referee. So it was
that's a part of it, though. That needs to, right?
That's
part of the story.
Big Poppy's courtside dropping F-bombs all game long.
He looks so cool.
Oh, yeah.
That flat bill and his sunglasses.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is a monster, man. Drake May was sitting there next to somebody. Is that his brother?
No, that was not his brother. Maybe a cousin, maybe an agent. I wasn't really sure who that was. Didn't love it, but I was pumped that he was there courtside. I would have thought Luke May might have been there, but I do believe Luke is still playing overseas with the turkey. What is that? Does that say what I think it says?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those chicken thighs.
Yeah. Zoom that out. Yeah. That's how our show communicates. So good luck in there, Tone.
Okay, Tony.
We just talked to Tone about how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, right
Eating
out there.
healthy.
He said only once, right, I think is what he was talking about.
He was eating a big salad over there.
Yeah.
He might have had a little, some of that lettuce.
No.
Oh, no.
Vegetation gets to you. Hey, one white, one do
Oh,
white.
E. coli?
That's right. Hey, you got dew wipes in there. Remember, we got one per flush.
Yeah.
One per flush in there. Look like he's going to need a couple flusher, too.
Yeah.
Need to be a couple flusher if you're going to drop massive bombs. That's why our problem with Talk is so big.
Yes.
Talk just lets these things sit in the toilet and go stack up like it's a porta-john.
Exactly.
And then he tries to flush it at the end, and it's like, pal, the hole's only so big. Your ass just created something it's not supposed to create.
And
I'm done with it.
that's the bathroom he uses, too.
Talk?
Yeah.
Oh, Dick
So-
just walked into a war zone.
He did.
He just walked into a 2002 Cadillac Escalade shit that's been sitting there.
Absolutely.
All right. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is hopefully we're pulling for you, Tone.
Good luck, Tony.
Tough business, Tone.
He can't hear us right now. Joining us now is a man who can also hear us. He's a Emmy Award-winning broadcaster.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not just in the booth for college football primetime games on Saturday night, and I assume in the future for Thursday night football in the booth alongside Al Michaels and everything like that.
What?
But because of the work that he does for College Game Day as the face of college football, a president of Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the video game we all love,
NCAA football 25.
Kirk Herbstreit.
What's up? How we doing?
Better than Diggs' asshole. I don't know if you saw
I guess.
it. Diggs just had to poop out of nowhere. The most unprofessional show continues to drop even lower. We appreciate you joining us in the middle of this chaotic time for us, Herbie.
Yeah, I thought that happens to Ty normally.
Yep. That's why this is a big deal.
Yeah, typically it does.
How about it?
Well, all the shit he was just eating.
Yeah, too, Tone?
Yeah.
Well, Tone has gotten skinnier somehow while still eating.
Yep.
Like, he'll have, like, P.F. Chang's delivered here.
What?
And then he'll have, like, some McDonald's. It does.
I haven't had Chang's in a while. I really just jogged my.
Chang's spicy chicken.
Oh my God!
with
Shrimp fried rice.
Oh. That made it
All right. Hey.
Hey, here we go. Here we go now.
Well, with you being back, college football talk and the game, there's no way he was going to miss it.
No, can't miss
Hey, way to go, Tone. We're proud of you,
Tony.
Tony. Nothing was even said about your.
I figure not.
Herbie, let's talk about it. Congrats on another award-winning year for College Game Day. You've won another.
Congrats to you, buddy. Congrats to you. That's your first, right? That's your first. You have to put that there in the set. Put it right on the desk.
So, what are you guys going to call me, Pete? I guess we already got it. Pete.
Yeah,
Is it Pete McComfy?
Pete,
Yeah.
Pete McConnell. What are you guys going to call me? How do? Because I don't get what you don't. You got yours taken out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 8 taken out of my house.
8?
Damn.
8?
Yeah, 8.
Was it like the lazy lizard towing people? Or what was it? Lizard lick
Yeah,
towing?
lizard lick.
Like they came in and repo that thing? Like, Mr. Herbstreit, you need to take us to your trophy room?
They called. And for people that don't know, when College Game Day wins, or any of these shows win an Emmy, when the show does, I was naive to the whole thing. I thought obviously the people on the set would get an Emmy. So all these years, I didn't know that. I didn't know what was going on. I was not privy to that information. I just thought, hey, it finally came. Where's it been? And I stuck it on the mantle, and we kind of moved on. And then last year or 2 years ago, they said, oh, no, that was not supposed to go to you guys on the set. So we got to take them all back. And I was like, well, I'm not at my house in Nashville. You're going to have to go get them. They're like, okay, no problem.
Yeah, we'll go get them.
Down. They went down and got them and took 8 of my 13 of them out of the house.
Jeez. So what?
And then I guess, again, I don't follow this as closely as a lot of the people. I think after that, they changed the rule, I think. And now if Game Day wins one, now I think guys like you, all the schleps, guys like me and you and Dez and Reed, I think we accidentally get one now, like legally get one. So I think technically it's our 9th, but it would be our first one that we actually are supposed to actually have in our house.
Hey, never forget your first.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Has his actual name on it?
Well, the other ones did too, right?
No, I thought it was Keith Underwood.
No, Kirk. Wasn't it Keith?
What was my name? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
Keith Kirkwood.
Keith
There it
Kirkwood.
is, there it is.
That was your name. We were actually going to call you that and only that forever. Like that was going to be like.
Sounds like a porn name. Sounds like a porn name.
You guys-
Keith with that Kirkwood.
Okay, Keith.
Yeah, all right, Keith slinging that Kirkwood. All right, congratulations on a big win, Jimmy G.
Hey, congrats to you. Congrats to you, bud.
Congrats, guys.
I know you're proud of that.
Hey, congrats to both of you. Congrats to both of you guys. You beautiful sons of bitches did it again, huh?
Crush.
Hey, congrats, Pat.
Congrats, Pat.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
Work, boys. Good work, boys.
Great work.
Yeah. Come on. Woo. Let's hear it, boys.
Enjoyed your last day.
You know what's even a bigger deal is the show. I've been on the show, I think 29 years this year, and we've always had some pretty good ratings, but it turns out our highest rated years in the history of College Game Day have been the last 2 years of the show. So to me, Mr. Host,
right,
I think you should.
People are getting back into sports. That's all it is. People are getting back into sports, and it's great to be a part of the team. It's a great team over there, and everybody deserves it, including Mr. Keith Kirkwood himself.
Yeah.
So we are. You're copped on over there. I know everybody that is behind the scenes knows that. Like, he's the quarterback of the team. So that is how it goes. And obviously, Coach Corso has been a face of college football for so long and a character. And what you guys have done to grow the sport to be the number 2 sport in the United States of America behind the NFL. And that's why if you get offered an opportunity to be on that show, if you're in the sports world, it's literally you can't say no to that. That is an automatic yes because of everything that you guys have built over the 30 years of doing an incredible broadcast every single Saturday morning that has become an institution that everybody does. It's a part of like your day. Well, I wake up on Saturday, what? Well, I watch College Game Day, then we get into our games, then maybe we do some errands if we have to, if there isn't a game on, then we're back to watch who? The handsome Centerville Elk and Chris Fowler on Saturday night, and then bang, we're right into Sunday NFL football. That's just how falls go. So congrats to you guys for all the incredible work, and I'm happy to see you guys picking up another, trophy, this one actual for the people on the screen doing the show, and all the people behind the scenes. I hope they obviously all get one as well. Everybody behind the scenes gets one. They should, obviously.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I obviously don't know the rules when they took 8 out of my house.
Okay, all right,
how that works. But you're right. There are so many people that will be fired up about this. But congratulations again. I know we're busting balls here, but honestly, you do the same thing on that set. But when people ask me about you being on the show, you're a very, very polarizing character for the College Game Day crowd.
I'd say.
And what I try to explain to people is you have no idea the energy that he brings, and you have no idea the kind of teammate he is. And I tell you, when you want a lot,
they're telling you to stop. They're telling you to stop right now, Kirkwood. It's getting uncomfortable.
No, dude, you can get uncomfortable, but the guys sitting around you right now know the energy you bring to the show has been very, very big for a lot of the people on the show. But the teammate, like you put your hat in your hand to the show and showed respect to Lee Corso, to the College Game Day brand, like you just talked about, and you just won the room over right away. So as much as you're kind of having fun with saying congrats to me, it's really congratulations to what you brought to the show, honestly, dude. And we look forward to many, many years together with you on the College Game Day set.
Well, thank you for all that. That was very kind. You're the man. Thank you guys.
You got your contract worked out, right, for next year and beyond?
Oh, yeah. We're not
many years, Kirk. many years.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the case, but it will get figured out. It will. Yeah. Yep. It will. It will. It was an honor. It is an honor to be a part of College Game Day, and literally you and
it's an ongoing honor.
Yeah, of course. The honor will continue. The honor goes on
forever.
The honor goes on forever and ever. But
it's better.
You guys are epitome of class over there, so I'm very grateful. And how about Big Red joining the team too? And picking up
Matty Garrett.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Does Matty Garrett get one? Will you throw one to him?
Hey, he's got such a huge jug head. You see that helmet right there? That's his.
What size hat you think he wears?
10.
I think he said it was like a 10. Yeah, I think it was like a.
No,
it's the biggest hat I've ever seen.
I think so. Yeah, dude, actual size of that helmet right there. That guy
for shoot.
Yeah, he's a good golfer too.
Put it on.
Yeah, that is Matt Garrett's actual head right there. Big Red. He's been in. There we go.
Yeah,
that's his head.
That looks good on you, Connor. That looks good, kid.
Oh, thank you very much.
I like that.
Keith.
Remember, A.J. Dillon used to get a little bit of that. That was A.J. Dillon's biggest nightmare.
I got a big head.
The linebacker if I ever seen one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I didn't play much, but yeah.
No, you did. You did. We saw you tackle A.J. Dillon.
A couple plays, 1 or 2.
Connor looks like he's going to fill that A gap on you as a middle linebacker, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
There's Matt Garrett. There's Big Red. Look at that jug.
There he is.
It looks normal, right? With the proper ratio to his body, you think?
Yeah.
That's a big head.
That's the big head.
But I don't think you can fully tell from this photo how large it is. It is
golfer, big time golfer.
Yeah, he loves to hit the sticks, loves finding hats that fit, and I'm gonna be honest, his energy is fantastic. I've been a big fan of his since he came over from NFL Sunday Countdown, I think, this past year, and was with the Game Day crew. And I'm not, a lot of people that have been a part of the Game Day crew have been there for a long time. So I'm not in any position to say shit about anything, although I'm very thankful for the kind things that you said. It's like him coming in there has been magical, and Coach Saban joining you guys is wild to think about. He seems to be very comfortable, too, in potentially changing the way college football is going to be in the future. I think he wants to help in a big way, and College Game Day is obviously a great platform to do so. Excited for the future for College Game Day. Hell yeah. Now, let's
he'll be joining us this fall, starting in Dublin, Ireland, which will be a fun. By the way, we got to get that trip figured out. That'll be for another time that we can figure that out. Me, you, and Coach definitely got to put our minds together on that.
You're flying Coach? Is that what you said? You said you and Coach?
Me, you, and Coach Saban got to put our heads together on that trip.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say there was a trip to Ireland that somebody was contractually signed to.
Oh, you're going.
Okay. The Georgia Tech.
The boys could go, too. The boys got to go over to Dublin. We got to see it together.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, Keith, I mean, this isn't just some operation that it happens overnight, brother.
I've heard the football community in Ireland is big, though. I've seen them at a couple different events. They're like the representatives of Football Ireland, I think. It's Pro Football Ireland. They're very, very passionate. It should be fantastic. Need to stop by Conor McGregor's Black Forge dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they got steaks over there cooking up. And he's always in there losing, but not now because he's got a fight coming up.
Yep. Just sniffing it.
I'm excited to get over to Dublin. It should be a blast if it all works out how it is. We will certainly be flying as a team right over there, and then we'll be turning that thing around, and we'll be flying, right back.
Bringing it back.
Yep. Yeah, we certainly will. That'll be how that whole thing will work out. Let's talk college football. A lot of news came out about the debut of the new game, which is highly anticipated for decades now at this point.
Yeah, like 10 years.
At this point, people have been waiting for this. You guys have all been releasing footage. Is that Matt Garrett?
No. Go ahead.
All right, I will. You, Reese, Chris, Pollock, I believe. Who else? Voiceovers in a video game that we've seen. I think Jesse Palmer's in there.
Yep.
We've all seen video of the voiceovers that's been taking place. Reese put on here that it's been, I forget how many, 250 hours or something like that of voicing over and having to call it. And I know from Michael Cole's experience with WWE 2K, he has to continue to call and have to call every situation that could potentially come up. I assume you guys have been doing this for a while now. How long have you been eagerly awaiting the release of this new game? And how long have you been working on this whole thing? And how do you think it's going to go? Have you seen it at all?
I've not seen it yet, other than what they released the other day. But I've talked with them. I'm trying to understand the difference between, let's say, Madden. Everybody's played Madden over the years. And the college game, for me, the college game was always very different because of, I thought it's always done a really good job of capturing, like you see here with what they released, the traditions of the sport, the uniforms, the marching bands, the stadiums, just all of it. So I think they're taking that to another level. After 10 years of being out and coming back, I think the graphics will blow people away from everything I've been told. I think if you go back to when Madden really started to take off, John Madden got very involved in that video game of his. And I think his game really impacted how games are broadcasted. The views you get, that sky cam behind the quarterback, that really was a cool look that I think initially we saw in Madden, and then I think it developed into the college game. Now we see it every Saturday and Sunday when we watch games. I reached out to EA because I wanted to be able to say something because they've been tight-lipped on a lot of the stuff, and they continue to be. They said one of the cool things about this year with the 12-team college football playoff, that format, this game will be out months before the season actually starts, and while we're all trying to adjust to realignment, think about the Pac-12's gone. Stanford and Cal and the ACC, what's going on in the Big Ten, what's going on in the Big 12, the SEC getting Texas and Oklahoma, and there's just so much change going on that they're feeling that this, in a monumentally different year of the sport, that this game and the new rules with the bracket and who gets a bye, all those kind of things, by the time people play this game, they think it'll really help them adjust to the season and what to expect in the season just by playing the game and that type of stuff. So the game is still they won't get into dynasty mode with me. They're still kind of trying to hide some of that stuff. But they said if you looked at what they released, that trailer, they said, you can see the Army flex bone that they're running, the playbooks, the gameplay, just making it feel like college is a major priority for these guys and everything that they've done in producing this game. So there's a ton to be fired up about. And as a gamer, myself used to, back in the day anyway, used to be a diehard gamer.
What you guys play? Tetris? Solitaire?
No, dude. No, unfortunately, Joey Galloway is 482-3 against me. He's a complete ass.
Joey Galloway's a dog.
Josh.
Chopping down trees.
Easy. Yeah. You see that in the backyard?
Yeah, chopping down trees, and he's burying putts the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's
I don't know about burying the putts, but he's chopping a lot of trees down.
Yeah, he actually posts more missed putts than anybody else in the history of social media, which I appreciate. Stay humble.
He's big on that. If Pac-Man in his prime and Joey in his prime had a race, who would have won that?
Amen.
Joe, what did Joey run?
I think it was a 4.2 something.
4.18 it says online, which is
that's what I heard growing up. He was a 4.
Could have been a 4.18.
Yeah, but that was back whenever you guys were literally using sundials to time it.
Unofficial.
You know what I mean? Now it's meanwhile, Georgia wide receiver Joey Galloway ran a 4.18 second 40th combine before having digital time, so it's another hand timer situation. Still, he's moving.
Yeah, it was hand time.
Yeah, was that you? Was that you on the other side of that? Yep. 4.18. Those days are awesome. You guys,
but I mean, if it wasn't a 4.18, let's say it's a 4.23. I don't know. It's still pretty quick.
Absolutely, but also a tenth of a second is
big difference.
Like a tenth of a second is
that much.
It's very.
I believe it. I was his teammate for about a month in New England. He was probably 40-something years old. So whatever that shit, I believe it. I don't believe everything Wikipedia puts up, but I believe that.
After meeting Joey, me too. Because Joey would come out and say, "No, that's not real." I feel like in a self-deprecating, very hostile way. He would assassinate himself so hard, I think, and then he would punch me. Then he would punch me. I love Joey Galloway, but let's get back to the game here before the boys have some questions about some other stuff. I'm not a gamer.
Nothing about the Reds. We're not talking baseball, but video games is good. Thursday night football, anywhere you want to go.
Look at the Pittsburgh
baseball season's. I don't know if you heard about it. We got the Pacers are playing. We got hockey tonight. Rangers. We got a lot going on. Panthers. So baseball's officially over.
Yeah. And I know you're a big media market guy, so you say the Rangers. You don't bring up the Sunrise, Florida Panthers.
I'm for the Panthers because of Bob. Bob was with the Blue Jackets most of his career until the Panthers stole him.
Mm-hmm. Blue Jackets are a hockey team in Ohio that suck.
Oh,
but they're not the only team in Ohio that suck.
Well,
the Cincinnati Reds are the laughing stock of Major League Baseball. And I want to get back to college football 25 for sure, but to talk about baseball is certainly a ratings killer, they say. If you want to win a sports Emmy, you're not talking baseball. Well, let's talk about Cincinnati Reds. Ever since the opening day of last year, I do believe the baseball god said, this team has sucked for a long, long time, but now it's going to be worse than ever. You remember when your owner said this last year at opening day? Cincinnati opening day, big deal. They have a parade through the entire city. They love baseball. Is great, they say in Cincinnati. And then the owner comes out and says this while wearing bright red pants.
That's the bottom line. Sloaney asked you about the quote, show little faith in us, right?
Yeah.
And I saw you got raked through the coals. So you have people who say, look, faith is earned, 15 years of ownership. They haven't won to the extent that we would like. And so you had my faith, but you've lost it. Why should that fan maintain trust in you?
Well, where are you going to go? Let's start there. I mean, sell the team to who? I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you want to have this debate? You know, if you want to look at what would you do with this team to have it be more profitable, make more money, compete more in the current economic system that this game exists, it would be to pick it up and move it somewhere else. Yeah. And so be careful what you ask for. You know, I think we're doing the best we can do with the resources that we have. We're no more pleased with the results than the fans. I'm not sitting here saying anybody should be. I'm not polishing any trophies in the office right now, and that's what we're here to do. But, you know, the bottom line is, and I do think we've had to shift the discipline. We've tried a lot of things that didn't work, and they came this close to working and didn't. Nobody's got to tell me it didn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So I think we've learned from those things. And
so, Herbie, you know, your owner even says, boo-hoo, so what? You guys suck. Watch the games or take a hike. That's the difference between the Reds and an organization like the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates are an organization that invests in their team and in their future and want their fans to be the happiest. That's why they got the Hundo boys as two starting pitchers. That's why they got Cruz hitting baseballs off the bat faster than anybody in the history. That's the difference between a good organization like the Pittsburgh Pirates and a shit organization like the Cincinnati Reds. Herbie, I know you used to like baseball, not as much as me, obviously, and you might have some high school records in baseball for most home runs hit in the history of high school. You're maybe a better baseball prospect than you were a football prospect, but your dad was a football coach. You actually wanted to just be a starting quarterback for Ohio State than to face college football. Probably could have played baseball professionally. That you don't know baseball as well as me. The Reds suck, right? I mean, that's just a part of it. And you guys wish you were the Pirates? Is that accurate?
I just want to say to Phil Castellini that Pac-Man Jones and I had nothing to do with pulling that soundbite back from 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, you tell me. That thing lives forever, pal. That was Eddie and Rocky on the show.
That's right.
That was Eddie and Rocky.
I don't know about all that stuff. I'm a guy that I'm a baseball fanatic. I'm a dinosaur. I actually
like me.
I like baseball. When pitchers and catchers show up in February, I'm dialed in on the Reds.
Love it.
Get your stance. Get your stance.
Yeah. This is what we do, baseball guys. We hold back.
Yeah, dig in. Get in the ball.
I don't have to against the Reds. Against the Reds, I just stand like this.
No.
No.
That's just because our manager is going in the third inning. We up 3-0, and fucking Dave goes in like the game is over with. Come back out, lose the whole league, and we up 3 and end up losing.
David Bell, he was throwing chairs last night. He's losing it. He's coming unglued.
Baseball. Why are we talking about baseball?
Well, he brought it up. He brought it up. The Reds suck.
Yeah, Pac-Man. When was the last time we scored 3 runs? Come on, don't get carried away.
You guys can't score 3 runs because you guys suck.
The Reds get 3 hits a game. They don't score 3 runs.
They blow.
All right, let's move on. The Reds suck. That's just kind of how.
No, the Reds rotate. The Reds rotation. Their pitching is good enough to compete. They got Ellie. Everybody's excited. And I don't put it on all. They've got so many injuries. I don't care because they weren't hitting before the injuries. They're not hitting after the injuries. Wow. They cannot. I don't know if they practice hitting. I don't know if they take batting practice. They cannot. The white thing coming in, you're supposed to use the thing you're holding. You're supposed to hit it. They haven't figured that part out yet, unfortunately.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe you go suit up for the Reds and figure it out. I don't know if Castellini got enough money to pay you, though. With the resources we got, we're doing the best we possibly can. Let's get back to a sport that matters right now, which is a video game that you're the voice of. So I'm a terrible video game player. But I will play this game so you learn everybody on every team. Legit. Now there's names on the back of jerseys as well, as opposed to back in the day, people had to go in there and edit it and make it all happen. I think it's going to be great for the sport, great for the game. And obviously there's some players that aren't in, but 2K, or what is it?
NCAA football
It's not
25.
2K, though.
No,
It's
EA Sports.
EA Sports. They're just going to have to negotiate with the exact person, I assume. Like Archie Manning allegedly did not sign the $250 deal or whatever it was to get into the video game. So they'll just have to negotiate with him directly. I think this is going to be a massive success, a smashing success. And with the way the graphics look and obviously how much diligence has been to the voiceover work, I'm excited to play, brother. I cannot wait to get in there.
So how the players get paid? Anybody who signs on to play gets $600.
There it is.
And then the star players, I think, are doing their own individual ambassador deals.
Makes sense.
Where they'll do social media deals. So you're dealing with like a Quinn Ewers or any of these high-profile guys that are on the cover, Donovan Edwards, and whoever that is. They and their marketing agent will work deals out where they'll make. I'm sure they won't disclose what they're making, but they'll make much more money than the $600 that the right guard for Southern Miss is going to make. So I think anybody who signs up for it gets $600.
Johnson gets that. He puts a hand in the dirt down there. It's hot down there in Southern Mississippi too. He is.
Big John.
All right. Let's move to the NFL. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Keith. Obviously, last year after the draft, you kind of pronounced the Lions as the best team and had the best draft, and you were 100% correct. After this year's draft, do you have a strong feeling around any other team and how they did their draft, or did you think it kind of went as planned because there were so many guys slotted aside from Penix to Atlanta?
I don't know. You know what? I got the helmet still going. I told you guys late in the year because I happened to have the Bears a couple times. And I think I said to you guys then that I feel like the Bears are headed to becoming the next Lions as far as the improvement from where they were to where they're headed.
You did.
And the reason I tell you that, is not only the movements that they made. Remember I tell you about Montez Sweat coming over. They got healthy in their secondary. Their defense is incredible with the pickups that they had at linebacker going into last year. But I think it was just every time I kept thinking, are they going to fire Eberflus? Are they going to fire him like every other franchise does? And I get on a Zoom with him to get ready to call a game. And he just had like authentic energy that I think his players really rallied around and believed in. And I thought maybe initially it was just kind of show. But as it went on and I saw how the team responded to him, I thought, man, this team, I think, really likes this guy. And they're really responding to him. And then the way they finished the year, and then the moves, of course, that they made with what DJ Moore did last year, picking up Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze comes over in the draft. And then you put a lot on, what the rookie quarterback's going to do with Caleb Williams. But there is a lot there to me to think that the Bears could be kind of a team that you get to week 3, week 4, week 5, and you think, what the hell happened to the Bears? Now, that's putting a lot on Caleb, but at least they put a lot more pieces around him than Justin had to work with. So I'm excited to see what happens there. And, these quarterbacks, some people say it's best to sit for a year, the way Michael Penix will do in Atlanta. Some think it's great if you can go in with players around you to play. We saw what happened to Bryce Young last year. I think Bryce, by the way, with some of the pieces they put around him, has a chance to have a bounce-back year. Huh? But to answer that, I would say the Bears look to be the team, I think, that has a chance to surprise.
I'll be pumped if Bryce Young has a much better year because of how bad it got last year. They were playing in front of 35 people at the end of that year last year. And then obviously all the semantics outside and of it. We had a cup thrown potentially from front of the program on a fan. I mean, you're talking full first-year head coach. See ya, everybody. I mean, it was that's a full shit show to start your career. Hopefully, you'll be able to get back on track. And the boys will ask about
Canales. Not to go on that, but Canales is going to be a great fit for Bryce, just as far as relating to him, trying to find out what works for him, trying to build this thing around him. He did a great job with Bake last year in Tampa. I think that was a great hire, and I think because of what he's working with and the year that he's coming off of, Bryce Young, he's going to see some ghosts probably a little bit. Like Canales is a guy that's going to work on the psyche of the quarterback as much as the XOs. So I think that has a chance to really work out for him.
Okay, we'd like to see the Steph Curry of the NFL come to fruition down there in Carolina with Bryce Young. Obviously, the highlights at Alabama were phenomenal. Hoping to see some of those. Last question for me before the boys ask about all those things. You mentioned about the Chicago Bears being the team you're looking for, and obviously the NFC North is stacked right now, and it's going to be tough no matter what. Caleb Williams, it feels like you're the perfect guy to maybe break down how you think he's going to do. Obviously, you're an NFL commentator. You kick off every single week on Thursday Night Football with Amazon, which I know D-Butts can't wait to chat about, but also for how many games you called of his with college football, watching him not only at USC, but at Oklahoma, coming out of high school. It's like, what do you think of Caleb Williams' peak maybe in the NFL, and how do you think it goes? Do you think it's a thing that's going to take a little bit, and obviously everything is situational, but the guy that he is, the player that he is, how do you think it fits in the men's league now that you're obviously a massive part of it?
I think the biggest thing that got me excited about was what I saw on social media the other day with Tom Brady sitting down with him and Jay-Z talking to all those quarterbacks about, and I think Tom was very direct when he said, listen, my thing with your guys' generation is a lot of you guys it's about you and your social media and your brand. And he said, which is fine. You're just not going to win any games. It's about us. It's about 53 guys trying to win games. And I was watching when he was talking, Caleb Williams was staring into his eyes. And I'm not saying he's a me guy, but he is a product of his generation. And I think sitting down with the greatest to ever do it and hear him say that right to him, I'm hoping really resonates, because the kid has off the charts physical ability. He needs to quit worrying about if he is, or the comparisons, he's better than Patrick Mahomes. What he needs to worry about is not scrambling on every play, not trying to score a touchdown on every play. Take the layups, especially with the players that the Bears have put around him. If he can consistently just make plays, throw it away, not have to be Superman on every single series. Because in the NFL, for every play he makes, he's going to make 2 if he keeps playing that way. They're going to be either pick sixes or sacks with a fumble. Just throw the ball away. Just make plays, and occasionally you need to make that play with your feet. But if he'll just stay within the confines of the offense and trust the guys around him and just not worrying about living up to any certain standard or hype, then I think his physical ability is scary. But he just has to be consistent with the little things in the game. And if he does, I'm really excited to see what he can do this year.
I think his home screen, you talk about Tom Brady talking to him, I think his home screen has beat Brady in Super Bowls, get 7 Super Bowls or get 8.
Well, he's very open about being the greatest ever. And he's not I want to be the greatest ever. Dead serious, greatest ever do it. And
love it. Got to have that mentality before you can become it, obviously. Yep. A lot of people have had that mentality.
But maybe that's something you put on your mirror in your bathroom, or but I don't know. I just think right now you're a rookie quarterback. You're just trying to win your team over, and I think he is being incredibly humble when you see him and you listen to him talk. But I'm just going back to his college days. He was, that's why I think he put himself in some places where people were constantly trying to pick at him because of some of the things that he said either on social media or his fingernails where he put FU, to Notre Dame or Utah or whatever he did. And I think he's learned, like all of us, you learn through things, right? And I think he's able to, I'm sure, learn through that and humble himself and now just try to be the best leader he can be for a team that's got a shot to maybe be a playoff team.
Mentally, I'd say 80% of guys that go in the NFL would like to be the greatest of all time. Yeah. They're just, there's 20% of guys just, I'm trying to make team here. Trying to make team, they have but as rookies going in, even as I was a human that didn't know how to punt in the NFL style of punting going in the league, on my mirror it said, become the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. That was literally, because that drives you, that works you, that makes you want to do stuff.
I think Tom Brady, who is the greatest of all time, I don't know if Tom Brady, when he was a rookie coming out of Michigan, I don't know if he thought deep down in his brain, I'm going to be the best to ever do it.
He told Robert Kraft, he said, I'm the best decision you ever made. That is definitely a guy that has, I'm going to be the greatest of all time.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think Tom Brady was focused on the team. I think Tom Brady was focused on winning. Winning. It was all about winning for Tom Brady.
You're right. I agree. And it is a different generation. But him saying it is now putting public pressure, obviously, on him to do it. But it feels like he doesn't mind it. And he's going to, what's that?
And it's there, too, anyway. Like you said, 80% of us, but 99% of us, those expectations aren't there. When you compare it to Patrick Mahomes coming out, when you are hey, if Caleb Williams was in the same draft with Peyton and Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck, we take this guy. So the expectations are there. So, I appreciate him putting that on him and putting it out there, too. But the pressure will be there. But speaking, going back to the NFL and obviously Amazon and Thursday night, Night Football. We talked about it last week or whenever the NFL full schedule came out, what we look at as former players, the cold games, the primetime games, all these different things. What do you look at when that schedule is released for you guys?
I don't know how you guys felt when you looked at it. It's obviously the third time we've taken a peek, and who knows in May. The games that you think are the best, a lot of times, as Darius, the injuries and teams don't have great years.
Yep.
It ends up not being great. But initially, like opening up with Buffalo at Miami for us, I love it. I mean, how can you not? With Tua and Josh Allen going head-to-head. We got Aaron Rodgers in his first home game the next week with the Patriots. We've got, I think, 12 divisional matchups.
That's good. That's what Thursday night used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night used to be divisional, rivalry night.
Yeah. We could go right down the list of games. And look at week 3, Cowboys at the Giants. I know the Giants coming off a down year, but that's got a chance to be a good one. San Fran and Seattle is another one that stands out to me. Getting Aaron Rodgers back home again if he's healthy. Having C.J. Stroud come into town on Halloween is cool. I grew up in the Ohio area, so I love the old AFC Central, but Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, where he got injured, by the way, going to take on the reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson. You got Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I mean, those just sound good. Black Friday, the Raiders and the Chiefs. We got Green Bay and Detroit, again, with the Rams and San Fran, the Bengals and the Browns. I mean, it's on paper, man, as we sit here in May, it's a schedule that kind of gets your juices flowing a little bit.
Pumped up about it. You remember first year you guys were on there, it was horrendous. And now we're in a spot where we're going to get going. I love it. I'm pumped to watch you guys kick off each week for us. And you got a lot of rivalry games on there, which is great news.
Yeah.
Pac has one last question for you as we have a hard out in 2 minutes. Just as you've won both.
I know, I got you.
You've won Emmys. No. You've won Emmys as 2 different people.
Whoa.
So you got this figured out. Impressive. You know what I mean? You got it figured out. Go ahead, Pac-Man.
Before you get out of here, the kid Jaden who was committed to Florida didn't get the money from Billy. Billy promised him $1 million. $13 million. He was supposed to get $1 million when he got there. Then he ended up going to Georgia. He's now suing Billy for what? 13.5?
8.5. Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be popping up a little bit more often with some of these guys not handling the NIL deals on paperwork?
Well, again, this is like uncharted waters. Like when he left, I think a lot of us, when Quinn Ewers left Ohio State, I think a lot of us thought, well, I guess he didn't honor his commitment, so he didn't get his money. I have no idea if these are contracts that are signed, if they're promises. I really never know if the player's at fault or the university. The fact that this player, I don't know the details of this player with Jaden Rashada and what's going on there. If he wins, it'll open up the floodgates for sure, Pac-Man, to see others that will eventually try to do the same thing. I'm floored that a high school quarterback was promised $13.8 million
without even touching.
What the hell has happened to college football? It's one thing if Bryce Young, as an established star at Alabama, can create that kind of money, or Caleb Williams, but to bribe a high school player, it's
allegedly. We're in another one.
Allegedly.
We're in another one. Yeah.
If they did it, that's sad. That's where we are in the sport.
Yeah, and I think it's like an eye-opening for a lot of people that think maybe something's happening, but $13.8 million didn't know it to that extent at all. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of college football 25 and the voice of college football and Thursday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, baseball aficionado, Kirk Herbstreit. Congrats on the Emmy, Kirk. We'll be back in hour 2 with A.J. Hawkins, some Feel the Beat. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel, the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margarita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnyakovsky. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram.
Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's going to kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
Once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like a joke. He looks like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk-off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake.
Just fucking like Batman puts marbles in plastic case.
You need a Duma, my friend.
You guys aren't listening. This right here, AI gave to me. A nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. This guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a nuclear
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show.
What?
But because I'm gonna blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out, that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble. Hell yeah, Jack Carr. Hell yeah.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Football Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Football is the title of today's show because there's a lot going on in the football world. We just got done talking to Kirk Herbstreit about the new college football game that's going to be coming out here relatively soon, and also an entire NFL season that he's eager to call for Thursday Night Football. We are just
106 days
away from the NFL season kicking off with the Ravens and the Chiefs taking place, but we are in the middle of a glorious time right now in other sports as well. We're in conference finals time. Last night, the Pacers gave away a win to the Boston Celtics. This evening, the Timberwolves will take on the Dallas Mavericks, and also the New York Rangers will drop the puck against the Florida Panthers in the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NHL. It is a wonderful time to be alive. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to be a part of your life. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, we'll be talking to Schneidman here in a little bit whenever we feel the beat about Packers football. What do we need to know about the Packers? Everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah, almost 100% attendance rate for like all the off-season, workouts and all that kind of stuff. Everyone's showing up for OTAs, and Jordan Love doesn't seem, too distracted by the fact that he doesn't have a new contract yet. He knows he's going to be getting about $100 million a year here very shortly.
Will they? We don't know. We don't know.
We do know.
Wes Schneidman. One half of the hammer. Don. Cowboys 10. Diggs is here. We're going to be talking to Mark Caboli, too, and feel the beat about Pittsburgh Steelers talk. I like the way Justin Fields is talking, and also how Russell Wilson's handling the post-Denver Bronco failure.
Yeah, I mean, they both look awesome out there. Number 2, number 3, they look really, really good. They are throwing some really, really good balls, and some huge breaking news for Pittsburgh today, too. So,
what's that, pal?
Finally,
Finally!
The NFL draft is coming back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2026. It's going to be awesome.
That about Pittsburgh!
All right, Bird.
That place is going to show up. Now, I will say, nah, it's football. It's football.
No, what were you going to say?
Up in Detroit, it seemed everybody was hunky-dory.
Yep.
You know, it seemed like there was a lot of, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. You know?
Sure.
200. There is a chance in Pittsburgh that, it gets a little later into the rounds and people are a little bit more boozed up, that there's a little chirping that ends up happening. And I think they should keep eyes on Yinzers out there. But I do believe Pittsburgh's going to show up in a massive way for this. It's not going to turn into the South Side. It's not going to turn into any other place where a lot of drunks allocate themselves in Pittsburgh. It is going to be a joyous celebration of football in a football town that has loved football since the beginning of it. Football is the heartbeat of this entire city, always has been. The Pittsburgh Steelers are obviously one of the most popular teams in the world for a reason. It's because, this city right here is called the Steel City. And, after all the mills ended up moving and they started doing production in other places across the country, Yinzers were spread all over the place. We need your talent, your ability, your grit, your work ethic, your everything in a new town, new place to continue to build this country up. That's why there's a Pittsburgh Steelers bar in every single city in the United States and America. And I think you can even say that in every single big city in the entire world. Yinzers love football, and the draft will be a smashing success. But I do think there is going to be at least one.
That's
sweet video.
You said it's a celebration of football, and that sometimes is part of celebration of football. Like you're going to have to. It's a physical sport. It's a contact sport.
Violent game.
There's going to be. Thank you. There's going to be some collisions, but no, I mean it's going to be.
It's going to be a celebration. It's
End of April.
It's going to be St. Patrick's Day.
It's going to be beautiful. Everyone. Yes, exactly. Everyone's going to be happy. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. This is the perfect home for it. And what they're finding is you go to football cities for this draft.
Bingo.
And Pittsburgh can't get a Super Bowl because the weather, they don't have a new stadium, like everything like that. But they can get a draft. And when they get the draft, it is a celebration of the NFL and it's a celebration of football. And that is huge news. Good for Pittsburgh. Congrats, Yinzers.
Go, Pittsburgh.
Rogers figured it out. You go to these blue-collar football cities, Detroit, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. Who else? Cleveland just had one. All those, Tennessee,
Kansas City.
Nashville, Kansas City, those are the perfect spots. Cold weather cities that are warmer in the spring, that's how you do it.
Yeah, love football.
Yes.
Listen, Super Bowls, you're going to be in Miami, California, Texas, all those places. Okay, you don't need.
What happens with Buffalo? If Buffalo would have just put a retractable roof on it that they keep open, they would have got a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they have like a bottle cap that they can lift up with helicopters and place it on top of the entire
I think they
stadium?
do, actually.
I didn't even think about that.
Because they could do that and then just be like, hey, this is our Super Bowl bottle cap that we're put on our new stadium that we can play with.
Like maybe they just take like 15 of those bison, turn those sons of bitch sideways, and then they just lay them across the top of the roof.
We've got a few years. Why don't we just have Terrence Howard figure out how to do it?
Well, he actually did. Oh, holy shit. He actually did. Holy hell, he did, brother. That's a great point.
I'm not shocked.
Hey, if you see any cranes in your city, fret not. Those things are a thing of the past, okay? Terrence Howard has solved the crane issue. And that is for shoot, brother.
I don't think we should mention it, though.
No, I'm not going to mention how, but for shoot, the machines and the technology.
Hey, this Terrence Howard dude.
I mean, as a man who worked at the shipyard, cranes do a lot of good things.
Yes, no, they do.
Thank you, Gumpy.
Yeah.
Cranes needed
Hey,
that.
we monitored cranes. Held me up when I was on the side of a boat.
That's
all we had. That's all we had.
This is making cranes better, I think.
Yeah, there's nothing against cranes, my brother, okay? There's nothing against cranes.
How about Terrence Howard? Just dropping into the world and saying, hey, this fucking brain here, great. Better than anybody. It's like, where the hell have you been? Well, I've actually been creating 97 patents that everybody else can use.
Okay.
And then I forget to pay the bill, and then everybody else profits off it. I don't. I'm doing Joe Rogan telling people how smart I am. They think I'm an actor. I'm actually a fucking genius. That's seemingly what is happening in our world right now. Once again, I don't understand a single thing he is saying. And there's levels to this shit. I do know that. I'm a Wheel of Fortune guy, not a Jeopardy guy. But the Jeopardy people are saying, yeah, he's pretty good, this guy, what he's saying in there. Is he just read all the time? Is that what Terrence Howard does?
I don't think he reads anything. I think he was born with a lot of this knowledge.
No, well, don't even bring up
dreams.
He remembered when he was in the womb.
Right.
But I mean, there was one tweet that I sent in from Matthew Rife, not the comedian Matt Rife, Matthew Rife, and he kind of breaks down why Terrence Howard's gotten a lot of backlash and also kind of explains what Terrence Howard is talking about and where like the information that he has gathered has come from.
So the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo City as a whole should ask Terrence Howard how we can create something that can just cover that roof. Because I think if they were able to do that, they'd probably get a Super Bowl because they're building a new stadium. One of the benefits of building a new stadium is that the NFL will hopefully, I thought it was a definite, you get a Super Bowl in your city. Because if Buffalo was able to showcase everything that they are as a fan base and how much they love ball, and then also have the game be played in like a fair way, like the biggest game of the year, which hundreds of millions of people are going to be watching and teams have worked all year for, and it's our biggest prize, has to be able to play it in some sort of fairness, on the field, because if one team's built to play in a mutter,
nobody want to go to Buffalo.
Nobody.
Yeah, it sucks for the players. I'm talking about business-wise here, because whenever you're spending hundreds of millions of taxpayers' dollars on these stadiums, one of the benefits is that you get $1 billion plus back coming to your city for the Super Bowl. And if they would have just, I think, I'm not a genius, but if they would have just had that, just keep it open then if you don't want it to be there, but at least have an option to close that thing.
I mean, when you're already spending like billions and billions of dollars, like it's always like, well, these retractable roofs are so expensive. It's like, okay, well, you're spending a shitload of money already. Why not just make it retractable to ensure the fact that, hey, if we have to close this thing in February to get a Super Bowl,
or a concert?
That's an option. Or concert.
In the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Are they doing, and are we too far along to maybe add that into the plans? We're not Terrence Howard, but from an engineer standpoint, just put a little put a convertible on it.
Exactly.
Is it maintenance
Make
on
a bubble.
What's that?
Is it the maintenance of like keeping up with it with the retractable roof?
No, because it sounds like they want to just keep it open because they want it to be an element thing. So it sounds like, a couple concerts here and there. Like you could potentially open this thing 6 times a year, and that's it. And if you get a Super Bowl and bring, $2 billion back into Buffalo,
we're just hypothetically thinking.
I think it'd be worth it.
We're just hypothetically thinking here.
Thought, wasn't it? So like a place like Buffalo, very, very small market. Isn't it hotels? Wasn't that always the thing?
So we had to build. JW Marriott got built for Super Bowl, and there was a couple things added. I'd assume Minnesota, even though Minneapolis is a incredible city that is figured out how to live in the negative degrees.
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna. Now, getting from place to tunnels, very cool.
Right. Kind of like Indy, though.
Everything's kind of connected.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had to build hotels as well. But anyways, kind of worth it if you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we're pumped for the Buffalo Bills new stadium. And Terrence Howard maybe does figure it out. Maybe he says, I'll be able to do this hard enough. And then the fifth dimension of the air should be able to cover that thing. And all of a sudden we got a Super Bowl. 12-year NFL vet. Pac-Man Jones is here looking incredibly cool today. Glasses are sweet. Are those blue hue so you don't get the blue damage from your cell phone or iPad?
I don't know what that is, but these are Louis Vuitton.
Okay. All right, Louis Vuitton.
Looks like, if I'm looking through it, looks like more of a yellow green.
Oh, like tactical.
Like the night driving glasses.
Those are tactical glasses. Yeah. I love that. I can't wait to see what you do for a giveaway at the end of this thing. But the tactical glasses are going to make them better. And we want all the smoke, don't we?
Yeah, we want all the smoke out right now on all platforms. The Real Pac-Man Jones featuring Joe DeBreeze.
And tonight.
Riverfront. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, Cincinnati Riverfront. That's right. Nobody heard that. Don't worry about it.
Riverfront Live, American Dream, Savage Boys. I got all of them coming tonight. 21 Savage and his whole crew.
It's going to be a celebration.
And I got my boy Trayvon be there too. So we got a lot of stuff going on tonight.
Okay, well, congratulations. We're pumped for you. All the Smoke music video officially out with Jody Breeze and also available on all platforms. This one's a banger. Yep. And you got 8K videos in this music video, which is sweet. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. Good to see you, dude. Joining us live from Attica, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, the president of Ohio, the other one, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, AJ Hawk. AJ, I know that when people think of you, they think great jawline.
Okay.
I know when they think of you, they think Ohio. But a lot of people who don't fully understand the toxicity of your personality, when they think of you, they think football. And this is a football show.
Sure.
We're losing something from the game that I think we're all pumped about. Inevitably. Pumped, excited.
Yep.
It's about time, some people say.
Sure.
But what makes football are the little minor details that you can only see in football games. And we made it to an era where the internet and apps were streaming NFL games to the tune of like 20 million people on Thursday nights. And in the first game of the streaming era, during that game, the most antiquated archaic thing that football has made an appearance. And that's chain gang. Ever since you're a little kid, playing little youth football, parents are putting on pennies and dragging these things around. And whenever you put them on top of each other, the chains would get all intertwined. And you had to have a Terrence Howard-like brain to get it undone. And if there was a little bit of one, is now first down 9.5 yards, or is it 10 yards? Now, we need those chain links absolutely separated. And then as you get into high school, obviously those are refs, and they're bouncing around. You get to know these people. They're part of the – you get to college, holy hell. Bring it out for a measurement. These guys are out in the middle of 100,000 people in college. And then in the NFL, you're talking about jobs and billions of dollars and futures of cities and families on the line from these 97-year-old men coming out with these chains and measuring them. We all remember the greatest moment that has ever happened with a chain gang came with Paisan from Pittsburgh, Gene Sterator's usage of an index card, because although the chains were certainly efficient, because I'll tell you what, those chains were 10 yards exactly pole to pole every single time. But every once in a while, the eyeballs weren't as good as the chain gang. And you had to figure it out. What is the chains? What's it saying? Get away, get away. Gene Sterator's trying to eyeball this thing. He says, you know what, boys? I don't think our eyes are going to have to be able to do it. We're going to have to feel this one. I'm going to grab an index card. You want to see it? Is that what you said, Dak? Look at it. You're right. That is. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yep, I did that shit. First down. 17-17 in the fourth quarter.
Man.
AJ, they're eliminating those. Lasers in the ball, sensors in the ball is going to be tested during the preseason and inevitably get implicated into the regular season like we all thought. But it was a hell of a run those chains had, AJ. And I know you would have something very special to say as a guy who obviously loves the football.
Well, how many players have been injured over the years because the poor chain gang guy isn't paying attention? Someone's coming flying in the sidelines and they don't drop it, and all of a sudden their leg snaps on one of these poles. Like, that's one of the things I think is great that will possibly get out of the football game.
Yeah. Now, see, I thought you were maybe going to pay tribute to the chains, but instead you added another problem that these
Yes,
older folks.
I hate watching games when that continues to happen. I'm like, watch the game. If you're part of the chain gang, you need to be watching at all times.
You better.
There's a lot of pride in a lot of the guys and girls that are holding those chains, but there's some people who get a little bit too comfortable.
Oh, no.
Here's a little bit of no. First down's 8 yards, I guess, tonight, boys.
Yep.
How come? Well, we got this thing all tangled up. You know how logistics go. Fred put this thing in his truck. We didn't have gas. We had to change it. And all of a sudden, they wrapped it up. They thought this was smart. Everybody's the smartest person on earth, huh? That's the full conversation that's happening here. And now with the evolution of technology, we'll be using sensors inside the ball to say exactly where we are. Everybody's assuming that it's going to work like tennis, but if you listen to some tennis players will say, oh, is that right? Is that what it said? Because my eyes literally just saw that it wasn't out, but the sensor's telling me it's in. This is going to lead to even more conversation. And no matter how far... Here's the first one ever, obviously, here. And these are the first guys ever that created. Wow. The guy in the middle actually created the hand swipe to change the downs.
Yep. Yeah. Is that Joe DiNardo's dad?
So will the down market still be there?
What's it going to look like?
That's Frank Furco.
I hate this.
I don't like this either.
I hate it. I mean,
but will they be there though, so we can at least people look at it?
They should still be there, right? Like, because obviously it's a lot of the technology is.
How are we gonna know what down it is?
Ball to ear.
So like mascots.
Yeah. Like, who announces what down and what the distance is? Do the refs know, or is it just
they're gonna have to have a number at least at the line of scrimmage, right? They're gonna have to have.
James will be a backup if this is a success. Says.
What about the drama?
Okay,
like when Gene pulling that in
there,
the players when you're on there trying to get a peek, you see it and you get that.
It's true though for TV though. Think about it. TV wants that there.
Say if it's 3rd and 9, how do you sit at the sticks? Now I'm over here thinking, trying to count every line.
Yeah, the sticks got to be there.
Got to have.
Gotta be there as a backup.
Still there.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they have because they'll have to have something that is with the. Right?
They just won't come out and measure with the chains, but they still should be there on the sideline, I think.
Remember,
so people will still get hurt, I guess, by the guys not paying attention.
Part of the game.
So we're not going to fix the injury part of it.
What did Bill and Raj were talking, I don't know if it was during their sit-down with the Cards or some other time, but I guess Bill Belichick has been pitching for like 20 years. We need a camera on the first down line.
That was the sit-down.
We need a camera on the end zone, and we need a camera down each sideline. In every game. If you want to use it, fine, for TV. If not, we don't care. This is what needs to happen, and put it in a place where it can't get blocked by a wide receiver or a corner or a tight end or anybody on the outside. Like, we just need, I think that is the answer. Like, and then you can have the humans that are still, I'm going to go against what everybody's saying here, and I appreciate the football purism that's taking place. I'm 100% okay with us not trotting that fucking thing out there.
No doubt.
Ever again. I'm very okay with that. I'm bummed out that football's losing a part of football lore, but this is only going to add even more questions. Because as soon as I read that it was censors, I'm like, oh, so who's telling the censors?
Right.
Yeah.
Who's telling the censors?
Who's telling?
If they're going to fail at some point, technology fails. They're going to have to go to the backup, and we're going to have a chain gang crew, trot out there, and they're not used to doing it anymore too because they've been taking it easy. They're trusting the science, I guess, or the technology so far.
And with the scripted conversation,
bingo.
What about the most important?
The Chiefs are going to pick up Chiefs are going to pick up a 4th and 5 with a 3-yard gain.
Yep.
And people are going to be very confused.
Yep.
And everybody's going to go crazy. And Patrick Mahomes, I didn't tell him to do it. Why you hate me?
Don't hate me.
And you wouldn't take it first down?
Was.
What do you want from me? A sensor, laser? You smarter than that?
Sorry.
You Terrence Howard? That's what Patrick Mahomes
What about the most important first down? They can use it on the goal line?
Yeah. What about a fumble?
If the ball crosses?
They'll take it back to where the fumble was, probably. So I think that is a part of the data that it's able to create is where it was potentially lost, because a ball that is fumbled forward obviously is supposed to go back to where the ball was initially fumbled. I would assume that particular data is also there as well to be shared. So let's just assume that technology is really going to enhance the game here. Everything's going to happen much quicker.
Yeah.
Like in the ear. Yup, first down. We don't need the whole song and dance, commercial break, trot out, do the thing. Now, if it's going to be Gene's territory with the index card every time, I'm in.
Sure.
Okay, if it's going to be a Cirque du Soleil show whenever we're trying to get this thing, sweet. But whenever it's always a bicker and then we can't figure out and then we got to reset it on the sideline, got to reset the thing that's a 5-yard, where the 5-yard marker, it's like, us losing that, I'm okay with. But the first time there is a questionable anything, it's going to get so loud. And the NFL knows that. This is the world that we're living in right now.
And they also obviously think that this is ready to go and it is going to enhance the game, because they wouldn't be implementing it in the preseason. And then if it works, moving right into the regular season and be like, hey, we'll try this in the preseason this year, fix it a little bit, and then maybe in 2025 we'll consider adding it to the regular season. Like, if this works in the preseason, we're going to be seeing this all season long right away.
So I think in 2014, I made voted in the first Pro Bowl. I think it was 2014. Oh, boy, they all kind of blend together there. I think it's 2014. At the Pro Bowl, they had balls with sensors inside of it that we were punting. And they were talking about it and what it was going to be. And I was like, oh, that's so genius. I could feel it whenever I was punting. Like, my foot could feel the sensor inside of the ball. Because when you're punting a ball, you're compacting that thing all the way down. So you feel everything, which is why punters like the ball harder. Like, kickers have strongly like it harder because then it's more difficult to compress. And then that thing is
bigger explosion.
That thing's going further. You know what I mean? So you like the ball harder if you have a stronger leg and everything like that. But I thought, now granted, that could be my head just making something up, but like I could feel a little something inside of the bladder of the ball. But now with how much they've advanced it, Sean Payton told us at Radio Row Super Bowl, basically like, oh yeah, I've been working with this company. They've been doing this for like 5 years, 6 years of data. They got to figure it out pretty much is what he told us for it all. And I think that's why it probably got expedited a little bit here preseason right in the regular season.
Yeah, 10 years. I mean, I think he said it's like the chip that they have now is like a little bit bigger than like a grain of rice. Whereas like in 2014, it was probably like the size of like the tag on a t-shirt or something like that. Like, I assume that it is small enough now where you can't notice it. Quarterbacks can't notice any difference in the weight. Kickers, punters can't notice any difference in the weight. At least you'd think that it would be like that, because otherwise...
I assume they're not going to be in cables. They would have to be in cables, I guess, for touchback.
Yeah.
Didn't you say they've had them for a while, though? Haven't they? They've had these chips in the balls?
Sean Payton said that to us at the Radio Row.
Like, very
You haven't punted a recent... Well, you haven't punted like an updated football?
No, not
recently?
To be clear, I don't think I could compress that thing.
Isn't that how they use next-gen stats for Amazon?
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's how they had all like the route combinations and like different stuff that you can watch in the Amazon copy, like the separate thing. I think it's because there's something in the ball too.
We've got sensors on the pads. We've had that for a little while.
Yeah. Well, the Soviet.
What?
They put them in the back.
They got commies in the pads?
I don't know where they're from.
This is what our strength coach introduced us to these things as. He literally stood in front of the room and he said, got this Soviet technology that you guys are going to put on to your warm-up stuff.
What?
And everybody in the room was like, Soviet? What is that? What fucking years this guy living in Soviet? It was but now everybody
Cattle. It was Catapult.
Catapult.
When we were there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
Catapult
is
stuff.
now.
Oh, and they
how
did
far you run,
How
how much
fast.
switch,
little
you know,
sports
yeah.
brawl. You see the guys running a little sports brawl in the field, and people wonder what it is.
Yeah, every sport, every person's doing that. Can we get a,
an armband or like maybe a fanny pack with it on there?
a hat, a sweet hat.
We should wear them in here every day. See who's.
You should.
Right?
Yeah.
See the movement.
I lost it. I've told the story before about when I lost my Catapult privileges.
Yeah.
When I had it on my shirt.
You're moving, though.
Training camp, hopped into a side-by-side on the other field, was rolling that son of a bitch downwind, downhill. And they had to report that I was the fastest player on the field that day. 25, I think, or 24 miles an hour.
And you were.
Moving.
Yeah.
Couldn't even feel it the next day. Hamstring was great. Didn't even. And he said, all right, does this guy need to have one? Thank you. All right, we're a bunch of doofuses, but we're incredibly lucky to be in a position that we are to talk about sports. And who would we be if with the platform that we had with the football fans that watch and listen, if we didn't try to go a little bit deeper into some stories, a little bit deeper into the information? We can't do it at 30,000-foot view, but you know who can? The people that cover the team every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to feel the beat. All right, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cincinnati, beat reporter for the Inquirer and USA Today. She's a Cincinnati alumnus. University of.
Oh, yeah.
Go Bearcats. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelsey Conway. Kelsey, first things first, I was told you hate me because of something that happened literally right before I came on the show today. Is that accurate? I did not know that was the case.
No, but you did call me out about asking Jamar Chase if he wanted to wait for Justin Jefferson to get paid, and then would he take less?
I didn't know that was you, though.
That was me.
See, I would have called out. That was anybody. I do apologize. That was you in front of the program that did that. But I would have called out anybody for that, just from a player's perspective, leverage perspective.
But now you probably see where I'm coming from being on the media side, because now that everybody's talking about Justin Jefferson and Jamar's deal coming up, we know now that basically Jamar is waiting on Justin Jefferson. So
does Jamar have an agent? Does Jamar have an agent?
He does.
Okay,
He
so
does have
if
an
he
agent.
didn't have an agent, I would have no problem with it. The fact that he has an agent is my big issue. Like, Jamar's not the one negotiating the deal. He's not the one in the conversation. All Jamar can do there is lose leverage in that answer to you, which as former player, I don't like. Personally, because you only have so amount of time that you can make a living for the rest of your life in sports, and what he has done in Cincinnati, that's where I come from. But we're completely allowed to disagree. And with that being said, didn't know it was you. Would not have made as big of a noise about it if I knew it was friend of the program. So that is on me. I would like to apologize for that.
No, I totally, I see where you're coming from. But I will tell you this, there are very few people in that Bengals locker room that do have the leverage that he does, so he can say what he wants.
Yeah, but he shouldn't. Yeah, which is exactly my point here. That is the. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about T. Higgins here a little bit. He's not there. Hasn't signed the franchise tag. We all know that he's a stud. He knows he's a stud. There's a lot of teams that would be loving to have him on their roster right now, pay him as a number one guy. But I think he even acknowledges the situation that's going on around him contract-wise. Him not being there, big deal. How are you guys viewing it in Cincinnati right now with T?
I think everyone is viewing it as it's similar to what happened with Jesse a couple of years ago, Jesse Bates. It's a lot of similarities there, but it's different in that I've done a lot of reporting on this situation, and the main difference from what I've gathered is that T. Higgins camp, there's two things here. They felt like the initial offer that they were looking for was similar to Michael Pittman's deal with the Colts, which I know you obviously know a lot about, being in Indianapolis and playing for them.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of the deal that T. Higgins was looking for. He was never looking for a deal that would make him the highest paid player. He's fully aware that Jamar Chase is playing aside of him. From what I have learned, that his camp felt that the Bengals' initial one-time offer was so low that it couldn't even move into a conversation about guaranteed money. So it was never about guaranteed money. And then they never tried again. So both sides never tried again because the initial offer was so low. And I think from Higgins' camp, the frustration comes in that 6 of the 7 players this year that were franchise tagged got long-term deals done. And his side basically believes like the spirit of the franchise tag is to allow more time for a long-term deal to get done. But from the Bengals side, I mean, they got to pay Jamar Chase. So, you can see both sides here, right? Like the Bengals have a lot of people they need to pay. I'm sure they'd love to be able to keep T. Higgins. But from his side, from the player's side, the franchise tag kind of sucks, but it doesn't really suck that bad when you're going to get $22 million guaranteed. So I do think he will report at some point during training camp. I don't anticipate him being in Cincinnati at all this offseason. And I think it'll be kind of similar to what you saw with Jessie Bates, where maybe one of those final weeks of the preseason, he'll show up. But the thing to watch here is he has had some soft tissue injuries in the past. So you wonder how long would he want to be away, to make sure he's ready for week 1.
Got it. I'll be excited to hear where he's at, who he's training with. I assume there'll be videos that'll come out of him doing something absurd on a field somewhere. That is 2024 in this whole thing. $22 million guaranteed is obviously fantastic. I think Michael Pittman got like $27.4 million, I think, in that department, which we over here in Indianapolis wish we would have given him more. I mean, Michael Pittman is our guy. Yeah. I think Cincinnati fans feel that way about T. Higgins as well. And you said that T. Higgins' agent says the spirit of the franchise tag is that we can extend negotiation time. Well, as somebody that got franchise tagged, the spirit of the team doing the franchise tag, that is not how, 6 out of the 7 this year felt that way, but they're saying, we got you for another year at this top 5 price without bonuses or anything like that. It just seems like Cincinnati's in a new era, though. Like, the thought of them having to pay multiple guys just like 5-10 years ago would be like, no way. But they're spending money now, right? They know what they have over there in Cincinnati, it feels like, right?
They know what they have, and I think they had to make a decision after Jamar's rookie season. We're going to have to think 2 or 3 years out, and I think they decided after he went on to be the offensive rookie of the year, and he's Joe's number 1 guy, I think they realized this might be a situation where we might have to let a player who could potentially be a number 1 receiver out of a lot of other teams walk. I don't think anybody feels good about it, but I think the way that the Bengals view it as we're going to try and make a run one more time with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe and see where the chips fall with that. And if that means we have to pay him $22 million for one more season, they're comfortable doing that.
Hell yeah. And Duke, he said, if you guys want T. Higgins, go get one. That's literally what he said at one point, I think at the Combine. Go ahead, AJ.
What about the other side of the ball? Trey Hendrickson, his trade requests, where are they right now? How does Trey feel? How does the team feel? How do you see it kind of playing out?
So Trey's trade request really wasn't that surprising, I guess, after learning a little bit more about the situation, because last year the Bengals gave him a contract extension. He wanted a bigger deal last year heading into the season, and the Bengals gave him a 1-year addition. They bumped him up $5 million in pay to basically say, hey, we hear you. We'll take care of you this year. And I think that Trey viewed that as, okay, here's the olive branch, but he chose to sign it. So he did have a decision. If he wasn't comfortable with that number, he could have decided not to sign it, but he signed the extension. And then he went on to have another ridiculous year, 17.5 sacks, another Pro Bowl. And this offseason, his representation in March met with the Bengals and said he's basically woefully underpaid, and we think he should be paid at the top of where all the rest of the edge rushers are, and we want you to redo this contract. And the Bengals basically said thanks but no thanks. And that was back in March, and then that upset Trey. And so Trey was working out in Cincinnati, but he wasn't really around the team. And then right before the draft, he wanted to put feelers out to other teams, and that's why he requested a trade, because he was hoping that maybe Cincinnati might get an offer that they couldn't refuse. But at the end of the day, kind of similar to what I was just saying about T, the Bengals aren't a better team if they don't have Trey Hendrickson. So again, like, the Bengals hold all the leverage here, but it goes back to Trey basically saying, I'm underpaid and I want to be valued more, and the Bengals right now
It's
then,
success
your
problems.
contract is what it is.
It's success problems that you have, and every team is hoping to have these. And obviously, that's why what the Patriots were able to do for so long is so impressive, because this happens. And they say, like, when you win, there's enough to go around, but it's not necessarily always here. Like it'll be somewhere else. If they continue to win, which I think everybody in Cincinnati is expecting and hoping, especially with that quarterback, this is going to continue to happen. And Duke Tobin's just saying, did you sign it? You did sign that deal. Sweet. All right. It's one more year. You can either do what you got to do, because in the modern era, it seems like let's keep people happy. But over there, they still got some old school Cincinnati Bengals in them. Now, this new Bengals led by a guy. Go ahead, Pac-Man.
I'm speaking for the city. I know all these questions are big question. But the biggest question is, how is Joe Burrow with his wrist? We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago. We scared if he fall the wrong way. D-Butt had the same surgery, and he don't have all the motion and everything. For a quarterback, that's way different. How do we look out there doing the OTAs and what everybody's over there saying?
Well, I'm sure you'll see whenever you come back to Cincinnati, I'm sure you'll probably see he's put on a lot of weight. And he said that he added a lot of weight this offseason. He changed his diet. I tried to get more information on what he did, and he wasn't really willing to share all of that information. But he did say, I'm bigger and stronger than I've ever been in my career, hopefully to withstand some of the hits that he's taken. But I will say the biggest thing you'd notice if you came to a Cincinnati Bengals training camp is he's definitely stronger, especially in his upper body. He said that was a really big emphasis for him this offseason. And right now, it's a little bit hard to tell because he doesn't have Jamar and T there. So he's basically throwing to rookies and some of the tight ends that the Bengals have. And obviously there's no contact. But for him right now, it's about working on those off-schedule throws and him really working on getting that wrist strength back. I guess Jamar said that he went out to California and threw with him a little bit. He spent time with Jordan Palmer throwing in the offseason. He told us that he feels really good and he's fully expecting to be back to, his full self. And from the people that I've talked to, they're under the impression that he might be even better because of how much stronger he is.
Hell yeah, the hair looks phenomenal. Not as good as the internet hair that we saw, but his hair looks good, body looks good, wrist looks good. Dr. David Chow, who is a NFL doctor?
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm. Team physician.
There it is. Team physician for a long time. He came out and said the fact that they got immediate surgery on that is vastly different than what AJ went through and what Darius went through with their injuries, where they didn't get as much range of motion. He's expecting Joey Burrow to be okay. We hope so for an entire season because he's electrifying to watch. We can't thank you enough for joining us, Kelsey.
Thanks so much for having me on. And Pat, we're good.
All right, good news. Why don't you go ask the owner, how much they want to sell the team for?
That'd be cool.
And just see how, that's what Jamar Chase is in a time to get, let's not ruin it for the guy. Now, I understand you got to look out for the team as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelsey Conway.
Kelsey.
Yeah, I do remember that, him standing there. And I assume she has a great relationship with everybody, so she can probably ask questions that others can't. There isn't going to be like you just give me the heart. Mm-hmm. We'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm. No, none of that.
I'm talking about a situation that it happens in some places, but it's like that. I remember that line of questioning. Like, are you willing to take a pay cut for T. Higgins to be able to stay here?
No.
Jeez, Louise, what?
That's tough.
This guy. He's cleaning out his locker right now. It's like if he was representing himself, though, like if he was his own agent, I'd be like, all right, that's a valid because you have access to the agent of Jamar Chase, who is one of the biggest storylines of the offseason. It's like, all right, this is a business question then if you're going to represent yourself. The fact that he has an agent, okay, that is my thing. But Kelsey, keep doing it over there.
Oh, yeah, Kels.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hop right back on train. Let's feel the beat.
Packers season?
Let's cancel this segment.
No.
Don't usually shoot while we're singing.
Son of a bitch.
But I should be able to shoot and sing at the same damn time.
Was that a Packers season fate ball?
Yeah, maybe this one.
I can't be doing all the feel the beat bullshit while we're.
Shit, man.
Just throw it over your head backwards, for Christ's sake.
That
is.
Oh no!
It is the one.
This the one. Here we go.
No, that's not the one. None of those. I mean, contracts not done.
Try to fucking make one if we're gonna do it like that. Okay?
Might be the worst set of shots I see.
Why even go to Brazil?
Oh, no.
Oh, 0-5.
Oh,
They might never win again.
Ladies and gentlemen, hate that the universe did that. Joining us now, beat writer for the Green Bay Packers from The Athletic. Might as well mail it in. Matt Schneidman.
Nice.
Sweet kit, dude. Sweet jersey, bro. That looks sweet.
Thank you.
What is that?
This is someone I know well from college, Courtney Brosnan. She's the starting goalkeeper for the Ireland women's national team. So this is actually a game-worn jersey that she sent me.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
excited to wrap
Was it against the United States of America? And did we win by 30?
No, it was against, I think you can see it, France from this February.
It says Italy.
Italy? It says?
Italy. Oh, yeah, Italy.
Jeez.
You son of a bitch.
This guy.
We learned a lot about Italy earlier.
Yes, we did.
Did we not?
Yeah, we did.
I did not know about Italy.
Bit of a melting pot.
I don't want
You
to
don't
get.
remember in the 40s?
Well,
Who they decided to?
so now's not the time.
Oh, you're gonna do it for Italy, but not Germany?
No, I do it for Germany too, brother.
See, Italy is considered North African, Middle Eastern in DNA tracing. That's why Scotty Scheffler allegedly had all that in his mugshot check-in processing. So the Italians basically like North African. Is that what I'm learning here? Is
It's a very 5%.
Very strong
Italians.
contingency.
They're Italian.
they're Italians?
Yeah.
It's like the question that always comes up around the FIFA World Cup sometimes. It's like, hey, Mario Balotelli doesn't look Italian very much, but he is Italian. It's like, well, that's because of the ancestors in North Africa were Italian because
And Italy's
they
like
joined.
this close to, right? If you look on a map, Italy is like touching
and then-
Africa pretty much.
Yeah, and you throw in Mussolini wanting to take out and kill everybody in North Africa.
Sorry,
That's kind of how that happened.
Yeah, so, I mean,
what were they, the Allied or the Axis powers? I forget. Someone remind me.
They're on the losing side.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hey, congrats. That was a big win.
That was battalion ball.
That's a piece.
Well, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He played great soccer.
No, ancestors-wise, AJ, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was a big win.
Educational program.
People forget. That was a big win.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big win. Nobody's talking about it. Maybe biggest win.
Big win.
Pretty big.
That was a big win.
Big.
Yeah, shout out America.
We
needed it. We needed it.
There was others that joined alongside. Not Italy.
Absolutely,
but there
not
was
Italy.
others that joined alongside.
Half of France.
Hey, congrats to us winning. That was a big win, Steinman. All right. Steinman, happy birthday. Let's do the whole thing.
Happy birthday.
This is the worst birthday of all time, but we appreciate you joining us. Missed 8 straight balls. I don't think that has happened in this particular Thunderdome ever before. Now, I've been on quite a cold streak. Seems like the bucket is covered, but a lot of us just immediately implied that was probably the universe talking about the Green Bay Packers season. Now, that would make no sense after what the Green Bay Packers did last year. The only ringing questions here are, is Jordan Love's deal going to get done? And are they going to be better than they were last year because of how young they were? That seems to be the conversation piece. Is that what it feels like on the ground? And what are your eyes on products saying to you, Matt Schneidman?
Yeah, so obviously the most important storyline right now is Jordan Love's contract. He's there. He showed up. He's been one of the guys who, I know Ty talked about it earlier. They had 90 out of 91 guys there yesterday. The one who wasn't there was excused for a personal matter. Matt LaFleur said this has been the best offseason attendance of any of his now 6 years here. Keyshawn Nixon, their all-pro kick returner, said yesterday that it's just a reflection of the fact that they thought they let one slip away against the 49ers last playoffs, and they want to come in energized, ready to go because they think they can win a Super Bowl this year. So Jordan Love's deal is going to get done. There's no question about that. There's no rush right now, I would say, because it's not like he's holding out or anything. It's just a matter of doing it right. Brian Gutekunst said this offseason, he wasn't going to rush it. I would be stunned if Jordan Love steps foot on a preseason game field without a new deal. So maybe this could be something that gets done, right before training camp starts. But certainly, I don't sense that it's something that's imminent. But I wouldn't be too concerned if anyone out there thinks that there's a chance of this not getting done.
I can't believe they hit another dinger.
Absurd.
I mean, it makes sense because that's seemingly what they do. But he is a guy easily to say that. Go ahead, AJ.
What about their defense? I know they brought in Jeff Hafley to be their new defensive coordinator. People are excited, like how aggressive his scheme may be. What do you like? What I guess are the expectations of that defense, and how will it look different from last year?
Yeah, the big difference is Xavier McKinney, who they signed to a contract worth more than $16 million a year at safety. Their top 3 safeties from last year are not here anymore. But I think, an underrated difference is their middle linebacker position. I'm not sure, and I'm not just catering to who I'm talking to right now. I don't know if the Packers have had 2 middle linebackers like this since A.J. Hawk and Desmond Bishop, 10 years ago.
Wow, good pander on the birthday. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
They drafted Edgerrin Cooper in the 2nd round out of Texas A&M. He was the only guy in this draft class to lead his team in tackles for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles, and that was for a top 10 defense in Texas A&M. They have Quay Walker coming back. Devondre Campbell, who they had the last couple of years, a former All-Pro, is now with the 49ers. So they really beefed up the inside linebacker position, made some improvements in the secondary, and they think they've turned the corner with Jeff Hafley in terms of who they've given him to work with personnel-wise. Packers only had 7 interceptions last year.
Oh, yeah.
That was second worst in the league. He's a DB specialist, whether it's his work at Ohio State, Boston College, or his work as a position coach in the NFL. So the Packers really hope he can help them turn a corner.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was. Shout out to him getting hired, and then the more people talk about him, they're like, yep. Yeah, I think like Richard Sherman was like, yep, yep. This is a great hire, and I know Packers fans, at least the one that we're around on a regular basis, and he doesn't overreact or anything like that to anything.
No, of course not.
He was about done with that defense, for a matter of 5-6 years. So now there has to be a little bit of optimism, at least, right, Ty?
Yeah, absolutely, and he looks exactly like Talk, which certainly doesn't hurt.
Well,
no, I'm telling you, you put those guys, same haircut, same facial structure, same nose shape. It's
a little resemblance.
It's crazy.
You can't see any of that because he's behind a computer right now, but he is. He has 1 ear on a clip, 1 ear on the live show.
Yep.
And he's just captioning and editing in between. Put that on repeat for 8 straight hours. If D coordinator does that type of diligence too,
for sure,
defensive football, we got nothing but great times ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if they would have hired a dog to be the defensive coordinator, like an actual 4-legged dog, that would have been better than Joe Barry. So anything was great. Schneidz, you mentioned Xavier McKinney. What has been the talk amongst you guys and also the team of some of the new additions that the Packers brought in free agency? Obviously, they don't do that very often, but him, Josh Jacobs, 2 massive splashes. Obviously, it's early, but what's kind of been the temperature and the talk around those guys thus far?
Yeah, Xavier McKinney's only, 24 years old, and he's easily the most experienced guy in that room. He was talking yesterday about how right when he gets off the practice field, he goes into his tablet and watches practice film so he can pass along things he sees to the younger guys before their post-practice meetings so they can have a leg up on what the coaches are going to tell them based on the practice film. So he's really taken on that leadership role, and along with Jair Alexander, they have 2 possible all-pro talents in that secondary who also double as leaders. Josh Jacobs, they think, can be a real workhorse back. Now, I know last time I was on, we talked about them getting rid of Aaron Jones. I think one of the reasons they did that is because Jones had some pretty extensive injury history, at least last year. Jacobs is 3.5 years younger. Since he entered the league in 2019, he's second in the NFL behind Derrick Henry in both carries and rushing yards. So this is a guy who has shown an ability to be durable, really carry a workload. He did not practice yesterday because he's dealing with a hamstring issue. But Matt LaFleur said he should be good to go soon. So those 2 guys on both sides of the ball, the Packers hope make a huge difference this year.
I think paying Josh is good for how Josh will feel about the situation as well, because I think he's wanted money for a few years now from the Raiders, and he has felt like he has earned it. So, he's going to be very grateful, pumped, excited, fresh start with a team that has an offensive skill set that nobody really respected going into the year last year. And then by the end of it, it's like, wait a minute, Jordan Love's making no-look, jump-in, fade-away throws. And then they got guys that can take the roof off. Yeah. And they got a power game alongside A.J. Dillon. It's like, here we go.
Drafted a running back in the third round. I don't think A.J. Dillon's going to be playing much this year.
We're talking Steinman. Okay, he's been talking about
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Happy birthday, Steinman. We appreciate you. Vibes high, though, around the Packers, I assume.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think so. And just one last thing. Jordan Love said yesterday that this offense is like night and day. He was like, the reps we have built up, the chemistry, He said the way practice is now is like night and day for last year. So this team thinks they can win a Super Bowl. We'll see if they can.
That's awesome to hear. Happy birthday, brother. We appreciate you. From The Athletic, ladies
Thank you, my friend.
Matt Schneidman. All right, who would we be if we didn't feel the beat with one man who has stolen the hearts and the noses of every room he's ever been in? Ladies and gentlemen, from The Athletic, beat writer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's feel the beat. With Mark Kaboly. How you doing, Mark?
What's up?
Hey, it's Schneidman's birthday today. He was just on. Do you have anything nice to say about Matt Schneidman, Kaboly?
Nah, not really.
All right. Live from the UPMC practice facility right now, or where are you right now, Mark?
Yes, I am inside the UPMC practice facility. They'll be wrapping up OTA number 2 here in about 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm sweating my rear end off in this indoor facility because it's hot in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and humid, I would assume. A little thick out there while you're covering Steelers.
Pronounced humid.
Humid, of course.
Humid.
That humid city is going to be hosting the NFL Draft in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Mark, it has been announced that the 2026 NFL Draft is officially going to Pittsburgh. Mark, when you heard this, obviously you were super excited and pumped and knew that Pittsburgh was going to be the perfect home for the NFL Draft after what we've seen over the past few years?
Yeah, absolutely stoked as a media member. Not really. It is a big deal for the
shocker, Mark.
Well, I'm looking at my point of view. I'm only worried about myself, right? Okay. But it is a big deal for the city and the fan base because they'll party it up, and it's a big thing for the Rooneys too because Art Rooney, the owner, really wanted to get a Super Bowl here, and he ho-hummed around on that, saying you don't have enough hotel rooms. I think this is the first step of him. They're trying to prove that they can host a big event here. But it's going to be a party like crazy here. It's just not something for me. I will be sitting in the room right across here next year and avoiding downtown.
What do you do for a St. Patrick's Day parade? And are they still a thing? You don't go? It's one of the greatest days in the city. Come on, Mark.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a St. Patrick's Day.
That's the problem. Ever? That's what I'm talking. You need that. What are we even talking about? What do you don't just go out and say, yeah, it's a nice city, good people here. It's good to see a lot of
They'll
people.
put you on a float, Mark.
Yeah, you'll be able to. You'll get your ass carried down maybe South Side if you really wanted.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm not really much of a parade guy, and I don't really like people that very much, so those things don't mix.
What do you like? Yeah, that's a good question. What do you like, Mark Kaboly? Good
What are you
quarterback
passionate
play?
about?
Mayo.
I guess Aldi Mayo, right? I guess
Aldi Mayo. Hoagies.
Hoagies in the pocket. The Pat McAfee Show and AJ Hawk. What else do you need?
Hey, we're honored to be a part of the select few things that bring true happiness.
Not even his kids.
All right, let's. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Hey, we're baseball, whatever the case. We got 2 quarterbacks right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, that is the conversation. And the injuries that I've talked to, very optimistic about the season because of who's going to be potentially their quarterback. Russell Wilson is the pole sitter, from what I've been told by Mike Tomlin, but obviously Justin Fields and he will be competing. What are your thoughts here? Seems like both quarterbacks very comfortable and confident and getting a fair shake at this. How do you see it working out right now, and how does the team feel about it all?
Well, the team loves it. I mean, first of all, they love Russell Wilson. And honestly, nothing against Justin Fields right now, but I don't think he's in the position to be able to overtake a guy like Russell Wilson because Russell is what this team really is looking for, what Mike Tomlin's looking for. A veteran guy that's been there, done that, a guy that's able to mesh well with a younger locker room, a guy that has to learn the system pretty quickly. That's a lot to ask for Justin Fields to do coming off where he was in Chicago and trying to get acclimated here. So to me, I see Russell Wilson not only as the pole sitter, but he starts from first. And, I'm trying to do my Indianapolis 500 thing here.
Mike, you gave up on it halfway through the sentence. You were doing great. Wire
to
wire.
I'm going to cross the finish line sometime in January, too. And that's where I look at it.
Is he going to be drinking the milk? Is he going to be drinking the milk at the end? Are the Steelers contenders with this move?
That's tough to say right now. The brutal schedule. I know Tone's probably going crazy about that, about the 6 division games in the 8-week span. Games against the Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles, and
It's the NFL.
That's not easy. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think Russell's being grossly underestimated. I think, like I said, with him and Arthur Smith and some of the guys that they have offensively, I think they'll be able to stay in it. It's just, are they going to be able to come out the other side of that gauntlet in November and December and still be, walking?
Tone Diggs, you just mentioned him, has something for you.
Yeah, you brought up Artie Smith, and boy, are the players raving about Artie Smith's offense. Is that because the players that have been there the last 3 years have no idea what an NFL offense looks like because of Matt Canada? And as Ty Schmidt just said about the Packers DC Joe Barry, a actual dog would have been a better offensive coordinator than Matt Canada? Or why do the players love Artie Smith so much?
Wow, you're setting me up there, Tone, aren't you? I'm going to have to say something negative about Matt Canada, right? No. I'll take the high road.
No, we all know. Everybody knows. Everybody in the country knows. Literally, we Utah to Georgia to the Capitol in D.C., everybody in the United States of America seemingly had the same thought, and led the Steelers to do the first something they've never done before, which is fire a coordinator in the middle of the season. It's no longer Matt Canada time. It's Artie Smith. We'll be back tomorrow. All right, we're off ESPN. Back to your answer, Big Boss Man. What are your thoughts on Artie Smith, and why do you think he's loved?
Well, I think Artie Smith brings a different mentality. I mean, he's been there, done that. He's been the head coach. He's been part of a very good offense in Tennessee, and he had, I think he had Atlanta in the right direction, at least offensively. And you could tell just to be able to X and O it, to put guys in certain positions, having matchups. And that's something I don't know if Matt Canada was able to do on a consistent basis. So anything new is good until it doesn't work, right? All of a sudden, I don't want to throw dirt on Kenny Pickett. He was the second coming until he wasn't, right? So Arthur Smith looks good right now because he's not Matt Canada. But I do think he definitely brings something to the table that they haven't had in a while. And that's a guy that really knows his X. I would say we're going back to Todd Haley days here, and that was maybe a decade ago, of having this type of coordinator, of just knowing how to call games and coordinate offenses.
Yeah, you had obviously the Bruce Arians run there, which was
awesome,
stupendous, and I think fans like. And then Todd Haley opened it up like, you just wouldn't run damn ball,
killer bees,
wouldn't run damn ball. That's what everybody said. So he gets around time. They guys had Randy, right? Yeah, Randy
Fickner.
Yeah, Randy for a while,
and then
you had Matt Canada for a while,
Dog.
And then
Wisenhunt before that.
Okay, Wisenhunt will go and become a head coach a couple times. Yeah. Does Artie Smith have his mustache back or no?
You know what? I don't think he does.
God,
I haven't looked at him
this guy's
problem.
We need to take yours.
What is this guy's problem? Seriously,
I don't know. I wasn't number one on my list of checking Artie Smith's mustache when it was out there. What was that, last year, or even when he got hired? It was spectacular. I can tell you that.
Go ahead, AJ.
I think it's gone.
I know. Oh well. Yours is
get it figured out, boy. Yours is freshly clean. I mean, the goatee thing you're cooking right now.
You look great. It looks like he ripped your stash right off your face and put it on his own.
I can't grow a mustache. You have to be a certain type of human being to grow a mustache, and I cannot do that.
Yeah, me neither. It's too weak up here. I got to have a full. Connors, though, I mean, that thing is in there looking prime.
Yeah, generational, though. My granddaddy, my daddy, it goes, yeah, my daddy's daddy. The mustache has been running in the Campbell bloodline for quite some time.
Tim McAfee has a great stash.
Really?
Yeah, great stash. Me and my brother both missed it. It's a bummer.
We got some blondes.
You could do it.
That's kind of the thing.
Too much. Sally.
Yeah, I got red. If I grow my beard out, it goes red.
Irish Scottish.
Bingo.
From the
island.
That's right.
They are.
Anyways, what's going on with Artie Smith's mustache? Why don't we figure it the fuck out?
That's him. I'll ask him that you want to know what's going on with the mustache. Maybe since it's nice and humid that he doesn't wear it. Maybe that's a winter thing. I don't know.
That is.
I'm gonna have to go back and look in the archives to see the Artie Mush mustache and if there's a plant.
Mush. He's on a mush. He's on a mush.
The opposite of a mush.
Yeah,
he's not a push either.
Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
Kabowie, I know he hasn't been there that long. They've only had, they're on their second OTA. But what has Russell Wilson's presence been like? Does it feel different? Is there like a stabilizing force? Like usually when you bring a franchise Super Bowl winning MVP, it can kind of help the team out. What does it feel like when you are there and you're actually watching practice and you're around all the boys?
Oh, they all respect him. I can tell you that. It's sort of they look at him and say, hey, that's Russell Wilson. He has that resume. But not only that is he's going out of his way to integrate himself with the team. I mean, he's trying to be in every event possible. He hangs out with the guys. He works like crazy. He was the last guy off the field yesterday on the first day OTAs. He's talking to wide receivers coaches. He's talking to the OC in his locker. They see the work being put in there, so they very much respect him in that fact. And they know what he's done. They know the Super Bowls. They know the Pro Bowls. So when you consider the instability that they had at that position last year, I think they're all very, very happy to have that stable, calming voice. And like I said, I think Mike Tomlin really enjoys that too. He doesn't have to worry about that stuff. He doesn't have to worry about breaking in the rookie quarterback. For his entire career, it's been, Big Ben, right? For all but two of that year.
Seven still got it. We saw him hitting Hines Ward and Bussey's doing his thing, and Billy Gardell is a model.
Billy Gardell, I didn't even know that was him.
Yeah, none of us did. We were all very surprised.
Sandwich. Someone save Billy. Someone save Billy quick.
Billy is
from what?
Well, Billy has been on a fantastic weight loss journey as the bus scores a touchdown and does some hip thrusting in Hines.
Oh wow, man, Billy looks tiny.
Billy's tiny. Yeah, Billy is incredibly healthy. I think he would say incredibly fit. But for those of us that have been Billy Gardell fans forever, we would, we just hope he's happy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's had a Permet sandwich in a while.
No, wait. He's from Swissville, so that's the Triangle Bar.
The who?
Big old, what do you call those things? They're about this big.
Hoagies.
No, there's a special name to it. Boy, people are going to kill me for this one. Battleships. Never saw the battleship at. Oh my! You guys call yourself Pittsburgh?
I don't know. I don't know if
we are easy.
You stay away from Swissville. Huh?
Yeah, we didn't make it down to Swissville much.
I think there was a guy named Gary. My brother was friends with down in Swissville. I think I went down to.
There it is.
Sub.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you take this picture?
Battleship destroyer sandwiches. I'll tell you what. I've never been there, but that place of sandwiches, I can just tell by looking at it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
They play.
I cannot wait. Not as good as Rudy's, I'd assume. Sorry. Sorry.
No, I don't think the battleship will fit in my pocket. Maybe it will.
Try it. Only one way to find out.
Fashion. Abercrombie and Fitch got these big pockets. You can put that shit in a big pocket out there, Mark. You know that?
I don't think I can fit in Abercrombie and Fitch.
No, me neither. Hey, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's Goodwill. It's Goodwill. It's
throwbacks.
It's throwback. It's a whole new Abercrombie.
Retro.
Yeah, really.
I think you could more.
Yeah, I think we'll buy you some.
I go to the big and fat store. So.
Whoa, that's not
tall.
Walmart.
Jeez, Caboli.
Come on.
Good Lord.
Brady, tip the cap. Tip the cap, too. Yep. Last question here from the offensive side of the ball before we have Coach Carlisle of the Indiana Pacers joining us. Darius Butler has a question for you.
Yeah, Caboli, I saw you put a tweet out a few hours ago about Big Muth, Pat Frymuth, tight end. You expect him to have a huge season, it sounds like, going forward. Why is that?
Oh, man, he's just – everything's lining up for him. He's in the contract season. He's healthy. He has a offensive coordinator who likes to really display the tight end nicely. And we're not allowed to really say what happens at OTAs unless you talk to the player and he tells you. Mm-hmm. The locker room's not open yet, so I'll ask him later. But he caught a wonderful touchdown pass during the 7-shot goal line drill today that just – like I said, I'll confirm this later, so we'll put – delay. But he just looks like the part, and I think he's very, very motivated. I think he's a guy he's had concussion injuries. The offense hasn't been really putting him in position to succeed. They don't have a legit number 2 right now, or at least a established number 2. I think he could be that guy that can pick up the slack.
We saw him in Detroit. He's bigger than you think.
Yeah, he looked good.
Wonderful
big.
Guy. Nice man.
Very good handshake. Yeah, it was good to see him.
Mass guy.
Anytime he catches the ball and you hear a big that's cool, because Heath used to get that. At the tight end position, So Yinzers are already ready to go. Let's just get him the rock. Caboli, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. What a performance out of you today. In that humidity.
Man, the humid's killing me. The humidity's killing me, man.
Yeah, humidity kills everybody more. It's tough. It's a bitch. It's everywhere.
Larger people don't do well in humid conditions.
Think about that. Like, D-Butt lives in South Florida. Think about that. That is 110% humidity every single day.
Yikes.
My type of body That's a broil from the outside and then a bake from the inside. I can't. I honestly, I can't take it.
No way.
I've been in that building when humidity is very high, actually, and it does get humid over there, doesn't it, Mark?
Extremely humid.
You're the man.
Especially, you ever go to Houston, too. There's a lot of humidity in Houston.
Oh, you're right. Houston's known for humidity. It's huge. Huge humidity. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Kaboly, what a performance. We're wrapping up practice here 10, 15 minutes. I'm not allowed to say anything I see without the player's permission. First time I'll talk to him is 10 minutes here. We'll see if he agrees that he looked the part.
Mm-hmm.
What if Frymuth is like, I fucking do.
Yeah. Damn right, Mark.
Beautiful touchdown.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What a wonderful touchdown.
Wonderful.
In my head, I was like, all right, that's a one-handed, right? That's
back
toe
line,
tap.
toe tap, over defender.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what wonderful. Kaboly is not handing out like positive anything.
He's not.
No.
Wonderful is quite a.
Has he ever used that word before in his life?
No.
When did he learn it? Is that today?
Could be.
Might have been.
Holy shit! What a word drop out of Kaboly. He caught a wonderful touchdown.
Yeah, he's in his bag right now.
I don't like people, he said.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being in public.
Parades.
Parades. St.
He
Patrick's
didn't
Day.
really know what he liked.
Well, that catch.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
He liked AJ Hawk. He liked our show.
What if it was in Pat and Goes and you just made a sweet one-handed catch in Pat and Go?
Backhand. Let's pivot away from the NFL and let's talk about the NBA.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night the Eastern Conference Finals started in Boston, and it was a wonderful game. There was runs, there was comebacks, and there was a time in which the Indiana Pacers, who are the underdogs, maybe the biggest in the history of conference final play in the NBA, they end up giving it away late. They lose. Boston steals one at home. Afterwards, they're not happy. Pacers aren't happy. That means this series is about to be electrifying. Joining us now, head coach of the Indiana Pacers, a man who's been a head coach in the NBA for 22 years, Coach Carlisle.
Yeah.
Coach, I know we're bummed.
What's up, guys?
I know we're bummed about what happened last night, but I want to let you know I'm pumped that you are on the show right now. Thank you for making time for us to conversate about a series and a run that your team is on that has been electrifying. Let's dive right in. Last night, okay, going in. Did you hear all the Boston people, Coach? I assume this is something that you hear from listening to your press conferences. I do think you hear some of the outside noise and utilize it as motivation. You guys were the biggest underdogs maybe in the history of NBA conference finals. Your team's moxie and confidence, though, seems to be at a level where it is maybe unstoppable. Going into the game, what was the messaging? What was the thoughts? And how do you think it played out?
Well, the messaging was play our game. Continue to do what we do, which is fight for every inch of the floor, 94 feet, keep pace in the game, be as physically persistent as possible, and keep the ball moving. And when we do those things, that puts us in a position to succeed.
Okay, Coach, and with the game you play, high speed. I mean, the stats that we get about the amount of points that you guys score in the first 10 seconds of the play clock versus every other team that you play against. How come why isn't everybody play this style? Like this, is it because of a cardio type thing? Is it something that you have to worry about, the type of guys that you have? Why is your team able to do it so well, you think, and maybe others aren't?
Well, we've built the team around a great point guard, obviously with Tyrese Halliburton, who naturally plays that way. He plays fast. He moves the ball quickly. We also have TJ McConnell, who plays fast, who I know is one of your favorite guys.
Oh yeah.
And so if you don't have guys like that can trigger this style of game, it's difficult to do. Also, playing with this level of pace is a big commitment. And many times, most NBA players will tell you, I want to run. I want to play fast. But there's an enormous commitment, a high level of conditioning. It's a 94-foot game. You're not trotting. You're constantly at full exertion. And so, there's a lot going on with it. It's not just as simple as saying, hey, we're going to play fast and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's electrifying to watch. I think that's why the entire state, obviously winning is helping it, but the brand and the style in which you guys are winning behind Tyrese, who is beloved in the city already, it's a beautiful thing. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, speaking of Halliburton, what does he allow you to do as a coach to kind of open things up? Like you said, watching him play, it's crazy watching step back threes from who knows where, and just how quickly he gets the ball out, how well he dishes it. How does that help you as a coach to where you can kind of craft everything around him?
Well, AJ, he runs the team. And, when he got here 2.5 years ago, I told him that I had a conversation. How do you feel about being the guy in control, calling plays, getting the team together during the game, being the guy that's the trigger guy? He goes, oh my gosh. He goes, I would love that. And so, we weren't very good 2.5 years ago. And so we had some time to incorporate him into this thing. He got a chance to learn his new teammates as we've gone along the way. And really, he runs the team. And so, when things are happening in real time on a split-second basis and players aren't looking over toward the bench for play calls and the point guard is the guy that is triggering everything, it allows things to happen quicker, more unpredictably, more randomly, and it makes us harder to guard.
Yeah, and he's awesome. The moxie. Yeah. Hey, coach, he's got some moxie too. Not that TJ McConnell doesn't. TJ McConnell does a walk down the entire court every single time out. Are you not entertained everywhere he goes? Your team's moxie. I assume that's something that you, I don't want to say instill, but is it you find people that have it? Like, how do you get that type of confidence? Because that's what everybody's talking about. This Pacers team is confident, though. It's a confident bunch. How do you think that happens?
Well, we've developed a defiant attitude, toward these playoffs. We understand that each series is a new set of challenges, and things get very personal very quickly. We went through a lot. I mean, in the last 5 days, we've played 3 games in 3 different cities, and 2 of those games were elimination games that we had to win to stay alive, and we did. And so the game last night is disappointing. We're disappointed, but not dismayed. We did a lot of good things. We got cut down on turnovers. I mean, 22 turnovers for 32 points is not Indiana Pacer basketball. One thing I love about our team is the way we pass the ball. We have led the league in the number of passes per game, really from almost start to finish. Last night we had, according to stats that I got, we had 390 passes. And I thought we should have probably had more passes, particularly in the fourth quarter. So there's some things we got to shore up, but I love the fight of our guys. We were down 13 in the third quarter, battled back and got a lead late. And look, it's one game in this series, and we've got to get ready for game 2.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought up last night. I think I was going to do it towards the end of this as we were chit-chatting about everything else. I think not only last night, but in the Knicks series, as everybody on earth seemingly fell in love with the way your team plays, you'll go down 9. And I think Jamal Crawford yesterday said that Pascal understands that can go from 10 to 20 or that can go from 10 to 2. It's a runs game, and you guys know that. And it seems like your team answers. It is a answering bunch. Do you feel that?
I do, and look, today's game is so dynamic. 20-point leads. We saw it in the Denver game the other night. They got a 15-point lead at halftime. They had a 20-point lead at one point. And they're at home in the altitude, and those things don't guarantee you anything. You've got to keep playing. And so, look, we got down 12-0 last night. Then we got down 13 points in the third quarter. And look, my job is to keep fresh guys in the game, to keep attacking, to keep moving the ball, and to keep being as defiant as we can defensively. And we found in the New York series, the possession stats are so critical. So, we actually out-rebounded Boston by 1 last night, but we lost the possession game because we turned it over 22 times. So that's something we definitely got to fix.
Coach, I'm going to put you in a terrible spot here. You're talking about stats. I'll talk about a stat. I've been pretty loud about it. And yep. You probably know what's coming. We talked about it literally courtside at the Fever game. Hey, God, it is bullshit. Last night, 23 free throws for Boston in regulation, 3 for the Indiana Pacers, 15 free throws in the second half for Boston, 1 for the Indiana Pacers in the second half. Now, obviously, there's a situation that we all saw in the last series, and we all agreed upon. Refs have a tough job. Okay? Refs have a very tough job, Coach. Very tough job. I agree. All sports. Nobody wants to be a ref. Nobody's cheering for refs. But how do you balance that type of thing? Is it just the other team's playing technically sound defense better than you guys are? And do you message that to the team? How do you talk about it to the team whenever it's happening in real time? Like, yeah, we're not going to get a lot of calls tonight. Is that something you mentioned? And how do you feel about how basketball is officiated as a stooge out here and putting you in a terrible spot?
Well, listen, I was on the competition committee for many years, and I learned a lot about the mechanics of NBA officiating. I'll start with that. There are thousands of events in an NBA game. When the whistle is blown, NBA referees get the calls right. It's either 89 or 90% of the time, and it may even be higher now. And so, there's a lot going on. But look, we entered all three of these series, the Milwaukee series, the New York series, and now the Boston series as the road team, understanding that you're going to go into extremely hostile environments in game one, game two, and throughout the series. And that, the officiating, when you're in those environments, you never know exactly what's going to happen. You got to be ready to play through some calls you disagree with, and you got to be able to rise above that stuff. And one of the things we tell our guys is, whatever happens, be stone-faced and always be ready to move to the next play. Again, with so many thousands of events in an NBA game, you've got to be able to be disciplined enough to go from one thing to the next. Like, you might miss a shot or miss a layup and be pissed off about that, but then you've got to go from that to running back and finding a guy that's probably a great offensive player and then squaring that guy up and doing your job within the system. And so, our guys have learned a lot about the process of doing that. There's always going to be things you disagree with, when you talk about the statistics of a game or the number of fouls or number of free throws or whatever. We've got to look at it as objectively as we can and figure out ways that we can make those stats better for ourselves.
I think you challenged like 78 fouls or something like that.
Games 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was a record amount of things sent in. And it's because I believe you guys had to represent for the fans, us, who were like, feels like we're getting worked here. And obviously the team and the city, hey, right now you feel it, right? Don't you? You have to feel it here in Indiana. That Gainbridge Fieldhouse, what did Austin Rivers say?
I haven't lost a home game since March 18th.
Do you feel it? You have to feel it. Like, it is awesome right now in the city behind you guys.
Well, listen, and there's nothing like playing conference finals games in Indianapolis, sandwiched between the Indianapolis 500 on Ritz weekend. I mean, it is the ultimate. It's the ultimate environment, and so we're very much looking forward to getting back there, Pat. But we've got another game.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry, coach. Coach. Yeah,
and with the stuff with the officials, I'm not gonna. I've already spent one semester of my daughter Abby's education at the University of Virginia with what you referenced, before. I'm not going to talk about, those things in the same kind of public way. But look, we looked at the tape today. We had a long meeting with our team. We know the things that we have to do differently and adjust and do better, and we very much look forward to getting back out there tomorrow night.
Hell yeah. Well, a couple of questions here, and we can't thank you enough for joining us in the middle of this. Let's talk about that atmosphere you chatted about. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Coach, a lot of people were saying that on the broadcast on ESPN, they weren't as pumping the crowd noise as much, and you couldn't really hear it. Being on the court, obviously, you can. How was the atmosphere in the Garden, and also did it feel as big as a moment as it was watching? Because it did seem as though the stakes obviously are much higher, and that the atmosphere and the energy from both sides and the fans was at an all-time high, at least from this playoff run.
Well, listen, I came into the NBA as a third-round pick in 1984. I played 3 years with the Boston Celtics. We went to the finals each of those 3 years and won a championship in 1986. And so I'm well acquainted with the Boston sports fan and the Boston Celtics fan. They are phenomenal. And, we go from Madison Square Garden Game 7 in New York City with Knicks fans to, Game 1 of this series. And, you're getting two of the best crowds in all of the NBA. And the only thing I think is going to be close is probably Gainbridge Fieldhouse this weekend.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, the messaging for your team and for the city has been one that has been well received by everybody that's heard it. Go ahead, D-Buck.
Yep, you talked about that championship in '86. You're one of 11 coaches that have won it as a player and as a coach, so congratulations there. And another place that you did win it down in Miami, obviously a great fan base as well against Mojitos.
Wow.
Heat fan, got a still sore spot there. But do you prefer, I guess, being the underdog as a head coach when you're getting guys ready? Obviously, from the outside looking in, you say, hey, all the pressure's on Boston. They're, minus 1,000 to win this series or whatnot. But is it easier for you to kind of get the guys going as a coach when you are that underdog?
Well, we've been an underdog all the way through this. I believe we were an underdog against Milwaukee. And look, we started off on the road in all 3 series. Look, whatever the circumstances are, in a leadership position as a head coach, you take those circumstances, you digest it, and you figure out the best possible way to get your team ready. And so, the challenge of in this series of playing the team that's been the number 1 team all year in the NBA, really from start to finish, wire to wire. They ran away with the Eastern Conference. They've had the best record in the league all the way through. I mean, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. And so last night didn't work out the way we wanted it to in the end, but we're looking forward to the next opportunity tomorrow night, man.
I love that attitude mindset. I was devastated last night, Coach. Coach, it was late, Wife and I got a 1-year-old. So normally we don't stay up late, fall asleep during a lot of these games, and then watch it back in the morning and figure out what the hell happened. I was up last night. Wife was up last night. One stream was 15 to 20 seconds ahead of another one. There was communications happening at like 11:30 at night. I mean, we're pumped for the team. And the way the team represents the city, I think, is a massive piece of this whole thing on why it's beautiful, let alone being the underdog and then the uninvited guests and the way the team is. It's like a perfect match, which leads to Ty's question, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I think we saw especially last year, like obviously, some of these teams that make it on these deep finals runs, you have the star players, but then the guys who come off the bench, and Denver especially, like their bench contributors, that was a massive reason why they won the title. For you, and namely one guy like TJ McConnell, what does it mean for a guy like that to be able to come off the bench and spell some of your other starters? And obviously, like what he means to the team as a whole, just being as gritty and tough and kind of dependable as he is.
Well, I think, the term I use for TJ, he's a defiant competitor. And I would think that, you guys, a lot of you guys played NFL football at a very high level. I mean, the football mentality has got to be, a similar type thing. And so, he's a dog, man. He gets after it. And he brings a spirit, an infectious spirit to our team. And he's one of the big reasons that we've had the success that we've had. And I do, by the way, want to say, Pat, please send my love to Sam. It was a pleasure meeting her the other night. You and I have both married way above our pay grade. With our 2 wives, I mean, it's like not even close to being funny. But I
don't know your wife.
But yeah, and so it was a pleasure getting a chance to spend some time with you and her the other night.
Well, we appreciated your hospitality. I didn't want to pepper you too much because we're in the middle of a playoff run. But the fact that you joined us in the middle of this, one day after or less than a day after what happened last night, we're incredibly grateful, Coach. Good luck out there. Let's rally the boys, huh? Mm-hmm. Let's rally the boys. What happened in the final 15 seconds doesn't define us, Coach. Does it? No, never.
Respect.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Corlaw.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah, he was awesome at the game.
Yeah.
At the Fever.
It's awesome that he came on. I mean, he came on. The game just ended. That's great. He's here.
They reached out to us. They're like, because we have requests in. A couple of the players aren't doing any media until after the playoffs, which is certainly something.
Zero dark LeBron 23 or whatever he used to do.
There you go. Exactly. Zero dark Halliburton.
Locked in. But sweet fashion. Every game.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Every game.
He looks great.
I am intrigued by where he buys what he wears.
I don't know if you can even buy it.
Yeah.
If they just send it to him.
It's made for him.
It's
just for you.
You ever see some of that shit he walks into buildings with?
Interesting.
What?
It's fashion.
What do you mean,
but I'm sure everyone has their own. You got some fucking shin guards over there, but that's one of the best
high fashion
receivers in the league. But fashion is a way to express your individuality yourself, and he definitely does that.
So
Where's your?
Likes the big shoulder. I don't know.
You said we have requests in, right? The shin pad's right behind you, but do we put any requests in for the Celtics? Or Joe Mazzulla, or
what's that?
You said we have requests in. I'm just making sure we're touching.
I
all
don't know
the
if we
bases.
have any connections over there.
You and Joe Mazzulla, close personal friends.
Yeah, I would tell you, he's West Virginia guy. I'm very proud of Joe Mazzulla as a Mountaineer. He's a good dude. I love watching him play hoops at college too. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So did we put a request in? Or?
Well, we don't know anybody at their building.
Don't worry, every other ESPN show is going to talk about him a lot.
No, actually, the conversation is just how he stinks. But
who says that?
Even now after the win?
After the 12.9 seconds up 6 foul, yes.
No way.
Oh, he's not on the court.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go away from the NBA and the conference finals there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the conference finals of the NHL. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain America representing Texas hockey down there in Dallas. The odds-on favorite to lift Lordo this particular year. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pavelski. Pops, what's going on, pal? How we doing?
Doing good. Just got home.
Are you in? Well, thanks for joining us. Hair looks phenomenal. Beard, wow. Yeah. Is playoff beard, or do you always do this? You always have this facial hair?
Playoff beard for sure, but I always have a little facial hair. It's been, I don't know how many years since I've probably been clean shaved, but I like a little bit.
Do we do handlebar? Do we have a little game like the Tuttles? Like
No, kind of what you see is what you get probably.
That's a good beard. That's a good beard. We talked to Kachuk a little bit the other day, and now we're talking to you. America is the greatest hockey country on earth. Is that that's a factual statement?
It's right there. It's right there. It's been coming. You know, our USA Hockey program we got. It's building. It's starting to show itself. Yeah, a lot of great players. Excited for the future for sure.
It's our game now. We're pumped about that. Hell yeah!
Sure, I'll hear about that one tomorrow in the locker room. It'll be good.
First time you come on the show, obviously put you in the middle of some international conversations. We apologize. That was on us. That was certainly not on Captain America, Pops. Let's talk about the team now. We have a massive Dallas Stars fan in the office in Bubblegum Pino. Now he is from North Left Canada. He is a massive Stars fan. He's saying he's feeling like 90s again. Holy hell, we're all the way back. You guys have to feel great with how you're playing, the physicality, the way you're going about getting your wins, and that building is buzzing everywhere. Do you guys feel the ride, and how has it been this playoff run, and where do you guys think you're headed?
It's been awesome. The building, number one, it's been great. We can probably get a few more wins at home. We've put ourselves in some tough spots to start series, but responded well. There's no place like it. It's been awesome to see the fans show up and the atmosphere, and but our game is great. It's been really good, and I think at number one, when people talk about our team, it's a deep team. Up front we're deep. On the back end, we got guys that are log big minutes, play hard and heavy, and we've matched up well against a bunch of teams.
Okay, so I think the stat we read, and the number, we're not Terrence Howard, but the numbers on Wikipedia is always difficult. I think you've been in the NHL how many years?
18th year.
Woo! Congratulations. I think you only missed the playoffs 2 times, right? You only missed playoffs 2 times throughout your entire career. Like, playoff hockey is where you find yourself at home. What is the difference between playoff and regular season hockey? Hey, you said heavy. That's a big part of it. Speed, a big part of it as well?
It's heavy. Yeah, speed's a huge part of it. That's why, I've had a little success there. But it's playoff hockey. It's intense. It's great. It's where we want to play. It's why we play all season long, is to have an opportunity to play now this time of year. I was fortunate in San Jose, 13 years there, played on some great teams with some great players. And yeah, I think we missed the playoffs once there and then missed the playoffs once here in Dallas. And I've experienced a lot of deep playoff runs. We haven't got over the hump yet, so we're looking to do it this year.
195 playoff games. 195.
What?
Hey! Most playoff goals by an active American-born player in 74, obviously. And then he won silver medal in 2010. Now,
second most ever.
Second most in the history.
For American goals.
So you need to get up to, obviously, number one. And then we need to outscore all the Canadians up there, too. You know what I mean? We need to go and get all those. Speaking of Canadians, one of your biggest fans is a Canadian. Gumpy, what do you got for Pavs?
Stanky, Wyatt, the young lad stepping up in the playoff run. Wyatt lives with you. Is that true? And how huge has the young lad stepping up with the older guys been for this run?
Yeah, that's true. He's been here. This is year 2 with Johnny in the house. Last year was awesome, kind of getting to know him a little bit more. And, last year, I think he commanded more and more ice time. You're watching a young 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid play, and you're like kind of waiting for him to maybe hit a wall or, just kind of wear out a little bit. But he kind of commanded more ice time, more situational play. And, he's a big part of the PK, PP, all those things. And this year you can just see his confidence has kind of grown. He, even around the house, he just looks more comfortable, more confident, knows what he wants to do. A few more jokes. He loves trying to play a prank here or there on us. And but then you get out to the ice and he's been terrific. He's driven this team a little bit at times this year in the playoffs. And and Stanks, he's got an engine on him. He goes. He's been a huge kind of spark plug for us here down the stretch.
Okay, let's get back to the guy living in your house. All right, so is this guy, because Sidney lived in Mario's house whenever he came to Pittsburgh for a long time. In hockey, I think there's a lot of like moving out of your house and going living in other people's houses whenever you play junior or whatever the hell it is. You just standard operating procedure for you to have a teammate living. Is this a guest house? Does he have a wing? Is there like a basement?
I wish we had a guest house. I'd put him out there in a heartbeat. But no, he's in one of the guest rooms.
Get him the hell out. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. He's up there. He's just around the house. It's a good little story I was telling somebody today as far as like Wyatt, our assistant coach, Steve Spott. When this was happening, it looked like this kid was going to make our team. And he's asking, is anyone, we want to find a good spot for him. Being a Canadian coming to the U.S. first time, what do you got? And he's like, so he's asking us, he's shooting me a text. He's like, hey, we're looking for a spot for Wyatt to stay. And I had Spotter in San Jose, and he's got a chocolate lab puppy named Wyatt. And I have 2 labs. I have 2 yellow labs, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I really don't want a 3rd lab in the house. But yeah, if you need a spot for Wyatt, I think we can take him. We can have 3 labs. And he's like, no, idiot. I'm talking about Wyatt Johnston. We need a spot for him. I was like, all right, give me a sec. I got to talk to the wife and let's see how it works. So we brought him in. As a rookie, you get 10 games, kind of a tryout, whether you can get sent back to junior or not. So we'll take him for the first month, see how it goes. And he was tremendous that first 10 games. And we came home after that one. We knew he was going to stay. Walked through the door, and Sarah's just like, Wyatt, you got something to tell me? And he's like, I made the team. And then he's like, can I stay with you guys? And she's like, absolutely.
There we go.
It's been great. We have a lot of fun. I was pumped he wanted to stay with us again this year. And it's great. I got a 13-year-old boy. So, Wyatt's 8 years away from him and 18 years away from me. So it's a fun dynamic in the house.
He's called you Unc, Coach, Dad. What's he say? What's he?
Mister.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pet. It sounded like. That's what I just heard. We have a pet superstar, which is a beautiful thing. Speaking of superstar, hey, that's good team. That's another reason why hockey is just
the best.
Hey, that's awesome. You didn't know that. That's cool. I don't know how many times this happens in hockey. Obviously, in Pittsburgh, it's taking place now. It's happening there. The community, the culture is just vastly different than a lot of other big sports, and that's why we love it. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Pavs, it feels like you guys have it going on the offensive end, but you guys also have the otter back between the pipes. How awesome is it having a guy that you can rely on night in and night out? I mean, when you guys closed it out, it was a 2-1 ball game in overtime, so he was standing on his head. How awesome is that, and how much confidence do you guys have having Otter in the back?
Yeah, there's definitely, you look at the playoffs so far, there's times it feels like we're scoring goals, but there's probably more times than not we haven't. That Vegas series was tough. Felt like a 2-1 game. Every game we were going to play, and offense, there wasn't a lot out there at times. And Otter shut the door. Great bounce back goalie. If he ever has an off night, he's coming back. We have tons of trust in him, and I think just number one is just like his mindset. He's a goalie, so he's actually one of the more normal, sane goalies out there, which is great. And he responds big time usually for us, and we got tons of belief in him.
What were you saying there about they're weirdos?
Like Brizgal?
Yeah. You ever hear that?
Well, kickers, in our game get talked about being weirdos, and any of those isolated positions that are real heady, pitchers, I think get talked about.
Golfers,
golfers get which.
Oh yeah,
we're going to talk about here in a second.
Of course,
obviously, goalies, modern day goalies, still psychos, because like for kickers and punters, I think that's kind of like a little antiquated. Well, I don't know.
Hold on.
Actually, hold the phone.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. It's a whole different conversation as of like a week ago. But like goalies normally little off.
You're never going to lose that. I don't think. There's always going to be some quirks, and there's some goalies definitely in the league that are still like that. But Otz is a good guy. I'll back him on that.
Otz is a good guy. He's a good lad out there.
Hell yeah.
How about the fans putting the
the Otter
Great card player too.
What card games are we playing? What card games you guys play?
Likes to give his cash away, so he's perfect.
Oh, fish. We like that. We like a good Otters of fish. Never would have thought. What games do you guys play over there?
Mainly play 7-up, 7-down. We always got Mush wants to play poker. He's wanted to play poker for a couple of years. Marchment, we had to shut him down early. So
what's 7-up, 7-down? What's that?
Just a trump game.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like spades.
4 teammates?
Like Boo, right?
We got 8 that roll around, so it kind of dilutes the game a little bit, but we have a good time with it.
Lone or teammate?
Alone.
Okay. All right. We're planes, hotels.
Little table talk goes on once in a while, probably.
Yeah, well, speaking of, the biggest and worst table talker in the history of cards, AJ Hawk has a question for you.
No way.
Never, Pops. Don't fucking do it.
Wow.
There's no reason to play cards with this guy. It is
Not illegal. The worst.
It's
None of it is illegal.
You're going to get bullied. You're going to get accused.
I'm a great teammate.
Yeah.
Worst I've seen.
He'll punch you.
Huh?
Worst I've seen.
Ever.
Yeah, worst.
People doesn't know how to play the game.
Exactly.
And it makes it hard. It makes it 10 times harder to learn when I'm watching the cheater. But hey, you're not cheating. You're not trying. I respect it.
Yeah, but like when you cheat and you get called out, normally you're supposed to stop for at least a couple seconds.
That's on me. Sorry,
I
guys.
got caught. All right, you guys caught me. Okay. AJ's like, well, I don't even remember what just happened. I'm in the moment so much. What are you talking about?
For real, that's true.
We want that, right? Yep. No, you can't do that. What I do, I'm right now. Okay. And then you look at your cards clearly.
Yes.
And you can't do that. What, are you going to fight me?
Deals like an asshole.
That's literally, Pops, that's what it's like playing fucking cards with this guy. Real deal. At 40,000 feet, you can't go anywhere. You're literally.
Him dealing.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Like an asshole.
Bottom of the deck every single time. It's like, oh, you think I'm doing this on purpose? You think I can read the cards? Okay. All right. And then it's insane. It's everything. Every part of the game that you can have fuckery in, AJ does. And it's a good time, though.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It is a good time.
And he stinks.
Don't play cards with him, though. Do not play cards.
Pabs, is this year the year that you climb the mountain and you win out in Lake Tahoe? I believe a third place finish last year. You're always contending to win that thing. Like, is this the year?
No, I don't. I like to think it might be the year, but I don't think it is. We're in a deep playoff run. We're expecting to go a little deeper. We want to go a little bit deeper, so that puts a little bit of practice time. You know how golf is. It's tough. We had this few day break and went and played around. The clubs were a little dusty. So, but that being said, we get done with these playoffs and we'll get out there. And the game never goes too far away. So,
it must be nice.
We'll see how guys show up. I know I'm going to beat you too.
I did not. Just to be clear, none of us know if anybody.
Not very hard.
No. All right, Pat. You are a stick, obviously.
Jeez.
My question is this: have we passed the time where you can RSVP? Because I don't know if I'm going to be in the tournament. That's so.
You can.
I think
RSVP.
What's that?
You got pool.
You can still do it. Yeah, you can still get
No,
back.
I have not said I have the capability to make it yet this year. So I don't know if you'll be able to beat me this year. You and me tied, kind of a stand.
Probably.
You're a real player. Have you always been a great golfer? Obviously, hockey helps.
Yeah, I played baseball growing up, and then when I got to high school, it was kind of like baseball or golf, and I went golf, and it was actually incredible. Like playing high school golf, I loved it. Get out. We had spring golf, so it was like end of this year. You don't want to be in school anymore. We'd get out and go play 18 holes one day, two, three times a week, and just played. Grew up,
So you know why things are happening. You know why things are happening. Like if you hit one like to the right, you're like, then
he's a real golfer. Yeah, I played with him years ago in Tahoe when he wasn't nearly as good, and he still shot probably 70 every single day. Yeah, he's like a legit. It's like playing with a professional golfer.
Oh. Jeez, how nice is that?
But a fun, cool professional golfer that actually plays fast and has a good time.
We're boozing out there?
It's a handicap.
What was that?
Well, what's your handicap, Josh?
And are you boozing out there?
It's right around scratch right now. Trying to get it up for the summer. It gets low towards the end of the summer and play a few rounds. You got to plug those scores in, get back to zero, and
18 years in the NHL, a fucking scratch golfer.
Damn.
Yeah. Great leader. You got a guy living in his fucking house. You got a kid and a what?
Dog. Second all time.
Dog, dude. We're lucky that you're American, pal. That is real. Scratch golfer. Jesus Christ.
Must be
Clubs are a little dusty. You know?
Love that.
Clubs are a little dusty. Right now, I'm probably around scratch or whatever. Jeez.
Absurd.
Who? Tony Romo's the one, right? He's the one?
He's there. He's good. He's around Dallas. We get out a little bit. I haven't played with him lately, so who knows?
You don't drive to golf courses with Scotty Scheffler. I don't know if you heard.
Pretty good. Huh? How about that? Like, that's amazing. Like,
ongoing right now. Ongoing.
Try
not to do it.
Speaking of ongoing, Western Conference Finals. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Pavs, you haven't won a Stanley Cup, but you have won what many people consider the second most prestigious trophy in hockey. I don't know if you remember this. I surely do. It was a seminal moment in my childhood. 2004 Clark Cup Championship, Waterloo Blackhawks.
Wow.
I am a Waterloo native, so young me watching Joe Pavelski, bring one home to Party Town.
I thought you were going with the national championship with the Badgers.
No, absolutely
the
not.
Clark Cup. I love it.
Yeah,
that was
third.
That was our Stanley Cup back then, man. That was everything.
That was the same time.
Bingo. Hey, I mean, Dallas, great barn, obviously, but Pavs knows.
That still might be the loudest barn I've ever been a part of.
Boom. When Young
we won
Arena
that
is
night.
rocking, there's nothing like it. There's nothing. Man, that is fucking awesome. That is awesome. So that's great. But Pavs, just curious, everyone wants to talk about, Draisaitl and McDavid. What other challenges does a team like Edmonton propose for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you talk to about those guys all day long. You know what you're getting. They're going to be good. The power play is obviously it's elite, one of the best ever, the best ever probably. So, one thing we got going for us is I think throughout the regular season, throughout these playoffs, we've been the least penalized team. So guys do a good job checking, playing hard, not crossing the line. Playoffs, you might not get as many calls, so power play and stuff. You try to limit their chances and take them away. You're never probably going to fully do it, but as a group, you try to get the job done, and hopefully, we'll have Otter back there if something happens.
Did you see the dancers out in the watch party up there in Edmonton? You see them getting down out there in the circle?
Yeah, I saw a couple highlights the other night. Yep, here we go.
Ooh, cowboy hat's really fucking getting it.
Cowboys in Canada?
Yeah, that's real deal there. I mean, he feels so good. He practiced that so many times ago.
Yep.
So nobody's seen that.
No.
He's been doing that at the house. He's somebody walks in, what the fuck you do? You don't understand. Get out! And then that thing happens, and all of a sudden he's a star. But they're an incredible. That's an incredible barn, right? I mean, that is home ice arena. Is home ice advantage real thing in hockey?
It's real. It really is. It's awesome. From team to team, it's different, but like whether your record's good at home or not, or you've won games or not, you want Game 7 at home, and that's why we work all year. It was some of our talk is we want to have home ice if we get a chance to play Game 7, and we had one this year, and it's a whole lot better coming home in front of your fans playing a Game 7, especially kind of if you're running on fumes in a series or not. You can definitely find a little bit of momentum from it.
Well, speaking of running on fumes, I've heard you guys run on any broken bone there is, and. Obviously, you've been a part of the NHL for 18 years. Same. Feels like hockey is a trip into the past. Like players, culture, not all the past.
Sure.
There's a lot of parts of the past, obviously, that we would certainly not want to be. But it feels like an old school game. There's a lot of guys that retire in the NFL that have played a long time. They're like, the locker room's changed mightily with the new generation. Hockey seemingly is kind of trapped in the same time as it's always been. This is our culture. This is who you have to be to play hockey. This is how we operate. This is how we go about it. Have you seen a massive change over almost 2 decades in the NHL?
No, I wouldn't say, it's a huge change. It's been good. The sport, the game itself has probably gotten a little faster, and maybe not the high-end guys are there, but up and down the lineup, everyone can skate. Everyone, can shoot the puck these days. So the game's changed that way. You take care of your body a little bit different. It's not as, it's more protein shakes probably for some of these younger kids than pops. And from there, but just the character from people coming into the locker room and young kids to the older guys that are still around, the game has a great character to it. And that's one of the things you love about it. And when I was young, you had Joe Thornton, Patty Marleau, all these old guys around that you're able to learn from, and you just try to keep that tradition going. But a lot of respect for our teammates and the guys we're playing against.
It feels like hockey is always going to be that way. It's a sport that humbles. I feel like you have to be humbled by hockey.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of work to get your body to be a professional hockey player is so stupid. I don't know how you guys do it. By far the toughest group of professional athletes. Now, we put a ball in your guys' hands. Jesus Christ. Looks like us on ice, for most. But you put a golf club in this guy's hand. It is game, set, match. Do you booze when you're golfing or no? Are you super serious?
I love having a drink or two on the course. There you go.
That's probably why he'll never be Romo, though. I think they're doing the he's even getting hydration IVs.
Yeah, cat cowing on the green.
During the entire thing. Got to be able to read it. Hey,
kind of have to. It's too much fun not to.
Golf is such a good sport. It really is. Just the vibes.
18 though.
Too long.
Could
Need
be
12.
Yeah, 12.
You think? You're a slow golfer then, huh?
I suck. Yeah. So about 12, I'm all right. I'm about done with this shit. But the American Century Championship, post 12 is when all eyes are on you now.
Yeah.
So I've already quit on golf. I'm done. I've already done the golf for today. And now everybody's going to see you go. It's a bad setup for somebody like me. You walk all the time when you play?
No. Just at the AAC for the most part.
We need to get carts out there.
Yeah.
We need to get carts out there.
He's always in contention.
AAC, that's our rink. Sorry.
Hey, the AAC's a loud barn. Not as loud as Waterloo, Iowa, though.
That's right, Young Arena.
Hey, Pops, thank you for taking time out of your day of being a father to one of your teammates and obviously in the middle of Western Conference Finals and taking time away from potential golf to join us in Chit Chat. We're big fans. We appreciate the hell out of you.
No, I appreciate it. I got to give a shout out to the Wood Chat back home, too, in Madison, and Stud Rocker who holds it down. He's they keep it light throughout these playoffs, so it's a nice little group chat we got going on. But the Wood Chat's where it's at.
The Wood Chat with Stud Rocker, dude? What are we dropping memes in there?
Rocker.
We dropping memes in there?
Yeah, what's happening in there?
There's a couple memes in there. Gets rolling.
Okay, motivational quotes going in there. Are we talking about the game?
Terrence Howard, maybe?
Yeah. Hometown videos.
Hometown.
Different videos that pop up. Homemade videos. Good stuff.
This is the Wood Chat?
Send a video.
Wood Chat.
Wow. Wood Chat's cooking. Did Terrence Howard make his way into the Wood Chat? This guy's figured it the fuck out.
No comments.
Certainly has. It's showing up in every conversation because you hope one person in your friend group understands at least one of the 10 words that Terrence Howard just said. And why haven't I learned this? We appreciate you, man. Real lot of the lads representing not only Dallas, but the United States of America.
Bring it home, Pavs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pavelski. Thank you, buddy.
Gotta get one.
Into the Wood Chat?
No. We need to get that Mana Cup.
Yeah. Get him the Lordo now.
18 years. Obviously, we did all the research before he came on, before the show started. We know all these things. As these stats were potentially appearing in real time, I was like, hold the phone. This guy's fucking doing it.
Yeah.
195 playoff games?
Oh,
It's crazy.
That Sharks team.
Insane.
That
Joe
Sharks team is awesome.
Thornton, Brent Burns.
Yeah, Burns was the guy with the beard, right?
Bingo.
Everybody
yeah.
also thought he was cooked on the Sharks. Like, I think the Stars gave him like a cheap 1-year deal, and he's just kept going and going. He keeps getting better.
Absolute machine.
And it was just like yesterday. He's playing for Waterloo Eagle.
Waterloo Blackhawks. Come on, man.
Okay, Eagle Birds.
Come on, man. Jesus.
Eagle Birds.
Fucking USHL powerhouse.
So how old was he there? How old?
I think it was
17?
it was before college. So he would have went to high school for a little bit, stayed with the family. I think.
God, he was so fast there.
Yeah, USHL Player of the Year as well.
Down there in Waterloo?
Yeah, Best American Junior.
Wow.
Superstar.
Hey, America's doing it. We're starting to do it.
We got the boys now. Although we need a number one pick. We need our Bedard. That's what we need. But I guess Austin Matthews, you could argue.
Yeah, but Bedard, he's lived up to the hype, hasn't he, in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So he's technically an American now.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago.
He's
That's
from
our
America.
third largest city.
Bingo.
He
He's from
lives
America, right?
Same with Crosby.
He's not from America?
Yeah, just like Sidney Crosby. Exactly. He scored that goal for America in the Gold Cup.
From Jerome McGinley, also American.
All right. Shout out to Pavs, dude. What a legend. I can see why you're a big fan, Gumpy. What a stud there.
He's a dog, man. Maybe like the best tipping in front of the net. Like the way he does it is
Sick,
incredible.
Yeah, he has real movement.
Oh, yeah. Filthy, dude.
Yeah, it's not just like a distraction. It's like, nope, whole new shot actually coming out of this thing. Yeah.
2010 vision.
That's what I'm saying. His hand-eye coordination is absurd.
Asinine.
That's why he's so good at golf.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Debo, that's what Debo wanted to, before you, like,
Yeah.
After your question, Debo was going to ask, Dry Raceboard was like, this dude finished third at fucking Tahoe last year. This guy is.
He was in like going into the 18th hole a couple years ago, like tied to win.
2 years
and then
ago.
ended up getting second, I think.
Who was it? It's Marty, him, I guess.
Marty, him.
Tony Romo.
The pitcher won 3 years in a row, though. Was it Mulder? He
Mark
won 3 years
Mulder.
in a row.
I mean, Steph won.
But
last
wasn't
year.
he the guy that you said was out practicing all night or something?
Miz? That was the Miz.
That's Miz. He's going to win. He's in
close to
contention.
Path.
Miz is bad.
He's like he's in that next group.
No, Steph Curry was right next to us with a hitting coach and the
track man.
the track man.
track man.
And this is on the drive. I'm exhausted, hungover, 150 milligrams probably. This tee time is way too early. The fuck are we doing? You know, there's still dew and everything like that. It's like, all right, let's go warm up. All right, let's do that. And I'm like struggling to even, hit the ball. And right behind me, Steph Curry's got a swing coach eyeing this thing with the track man behind it. And you're hitting a little bit behind it. We need maybe an offset right here. Let's go ahead and work on a 7-iron. I'm like, holy fuck, there's different levels to this tournament all of a sudden. Pops is like, gotta be drunk when you're golfing.
Yeah.
I want him to win.
He's a great partner. I played with him, I don't know how many years ago. He was an unbelievable golfer, but his caddy is a hockey guy, another hockey player, fun dude, and yeah, Pavs has a great time. He's not just out there silently walking the fairways trying to score low.
God, you guys are going to have so much fun out there. All right, before we get out of here.
Yeah, we will.
Scratch. It's crazy.
Right now, scratch. Try and get a little low.
Yeah, he's been playing his whole life.
High school.
I know people play 30, 40 years, never get close to
Scratch.
High school golfers have quite an advantage, though.
Yep, like Foxy.
Yeah.
You bingo, because they know.
Yeah, I'm not even close to that, though.
Yeah, but you're a good player.
yeah.
And I never had lessons. That would have helped a lot, too.
Yeah, coach.
Maybe not.
No, trust me, I did not have a coach. Trust me on that.
Jeez, high school golf coach up there in Michigan just got fucking embarrassed.
Yeah, trust me, I did not have a coach.
They live. Well, he's in Dallas now, so he can probably get out most of the year. Chucky, he's down in South Florida, so living in these different areas.
Hockey towns are all of a sudden getting a little
Hockey's
better.
off season is the summer too. They're off season in the summer, so they can just play.
A lot of hockey guys good at the golf, I assume.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think there's a lot of carryover.
Baseball swing fucks you, golf, right? Usually they say.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
But hockey seems like I was watching this Asian guy on Instagram.
Oh, he's the best.
Oh yeah,
he's my golf coach.
Long ball.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's in that
driving
range.
Always at night. Always at night.
And then he was holding a driver like it was a hockey stick. And on the caption it said, just like hockey. And I'm like, how come I never thought, how come I've never, this guy's a fucking wizard. Then I saw him with a crate. He had a crate and he was like, this is what we're looking for. This is what, not even saying a word. And then he puts that crate down. He grabs that driver. And it's the most beautiful thing I ever did see.
So smooth.
And that ball is gone.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere.
Oh,
shape it however he wants.
He's the best. Thank you for coaching me up. Thank you for coaching me up.
He said the one on his bottom hand.
This is him. That's him. That is him.
Oh, I've never seen him.
My golf game has become easier since I realized that I can impact the baseball. This is him trying to fix baseball players. He said, "This boys, just what you need to do," and it's gone. And it's a beautiful shot too with the lighting.
Dead straight.
Yeah, every shot's like that.
That's like a real background he's hitting into?
Yeah, go through his Instagram. Go through his Instagram, please. Can we go to the wide shot here?
Makes it look so easy.
Get this guy on the tour, Doug.
Can we go to his Instagram page? Yep, here we go. So every single thing he does is like literally fixing any problem you have. Go to that one with left with the triangles on there. This is a big deal for him, adding these triangles. This is super high tech here. Look, this is what you guys are doing. Don't fucking do it. Red X, you idiots. Okay, stop doing that. Look at you. You can still hit it, I guess. This is what we need to do. Up, down, out of the pocket, fucking dinger. See ya. Look at this dude smoke balls. All day, dude. All day he does this. One of my favorite followers, my algorithm led me to him.
Yeah, feeds you him.
There's the baseball swing X one was a good one too.
Right there.
You seen Ken Griffey swing?
He can hit it. I had a chance to play with him.
So smooth.
God. It's depressing playing with him.
That's what I do right there.
Yeah. Slice.
Using Kawashalo. Oh, that's his name. Kawamura teaches the Kawashalo swing.
God.
Go to the split hand one that he has. There's a right down there. Swinging with a split hand makes the Kawashalo very easy to understand. Bang. Look, you idiots. Just fucking. Just do that. That's all you got to do. Just fucking, Boom. That's all you got to do. Just like a hockey stick.
Butter.
See ya. Just do this, guys.
Kawashallow, man.
This is the way. When you ask me how I golf, I say fucking Kawashallow low, dude.
Give him a Lake Tahoe.
In the Kawashallow.
This guy needs to be out on the driving range at the American Century Championship.
I would say, what if you show up with him as your coach?
Well, you got
What if he's your cat?
What if
he
don't
stinks,
don't look
man,
like
right?
he's from this country, so you have to fly him in from somewhere.
Well, I will fly him in, and there is different language on every single caption, so we will assume that it is elsewhere. But the guy is a fucking beast. I don't know if he even knows how many people he's coaching right now. There's a lot of golf coaches charging a lot of money, and I'm just watching this guy golf every day on my phone.
One thing he said, imagine your bottom hand like you're skipping rocks.
Yeah, and then also weight transfer, same thing. Because like weight transfer is a big deal for me. I'm always doing the backward C, one of these things when it's on there. Just think, just move that fucking thing. Split hand.
It's all in the hips.
Just that easy. It's just that easy.
Yeah, but that's why watching golf is so tough. Because then you watch the felon Scotty Scheffler do it, and it's like, well, he's all over the place. Why can't I just do it that way?
He is still being charged potentially with what? Assaulting a police officer.
Yeah, prosecutor.
Hey, look,
Prosecutor loves it.
They love anything that'll get their name somewhere. No offense, not everybody. Obviously, we're not
90%.
painting with a broad brush right there. Don't want to do that, obviously. But the entire world agrees here. Misunderstanding? Sure. Scotty messed up? Sure. Was this a very easily mess-upable situation that could easily just get fixed for both parties? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably could.
He was in a marked car. He was in a marked car that all the golfers had.
And his story, and I think Darlington's even said, like, he might have been pointed, and it was raining and dark, and he didn't get the text message that I think Harmon said he got, that he got a text early enough so he was able to spend more time at the hotel or sleep in or something like that. So he came later. He wasn't at that exact time. So I don't know how many people were trying to get in. Number one golfer in the world, trying to get in there at 6 a.m., though, trying to probably do a full-on thing. You could see how he's maybe focused on a tournament. It's dark. There's things going on. And I understand there's a lot of explainable criminal acts that take place. Okay? We're not saying anything. But this guy just brought a lot of money to your city. The people are literally going to watch this fucking guy.
Also, look
at the fucking out front of the course that he was. I mean, is there not a
look at his track record too?
The guy's like the nicest guy of all.
Nothing about him says like, fuck it, I'm gonna drive on the curb and run over this cop, and I gotta go get get my stretching in. Like,
I hope, you know what, if it's going to go to court, I hope they air the whole thing. And the district attorney just doing his thing. I'm excited for the world to watch one of these people work. You know what I mean? When they're trying to earn their stripes in the attorney world. And maybe one day they'll be a judge and they make real decisions.
Well, and that's what's the most asinine thing. This guy isn't earning his stripes. He's been doing it for 20 plus years.
If he's still a prosecuting attorney for this, probably a reason.
Maybe we just think Scotty's a nice guy. We've never seen somebody try to get in between him and his fucking golf.
You're right. Somebody latched onto a car.
True.
They say latched onto a car. Scott. Mister,
You're
not allowed to go into the course.
We've been waiting to see something exciting from Scotty, right?
This might be bearded Scotty.
He was stretching. Scotty didn't know that he was a cop. He said he got some stretching in.
Yeah.
Could you imagine him doing in the middle of that? Hey, here's a bologna sandwich supposed to be, and here's a couple cream cookies for you too. He said he did want to experience the whole thing. They asked him if he wanted a sandwich. He said, "Yeah, I'll do the jail sandwich, I guess."
Think he dumped in there? Think he dumped in like an open toilet right there?
Oh, he just had like his first sip of coffee as he's driving to the
And some people are on a schedule. They dump every morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's golfers are probably like baseball players. They have a routine. Here we go. This is where I'm at here. This is what I'm doing at 7:30. This is what I'm doing at 8:30. What if Scotty all of a sudden got there? He's like, "Hey, do you have a private toilet somewhere?" And like, "Nope, right there."
What if he's already bribing the guards to tell him what time it is so he knows when to start the next set of calisthenics?
Could be.
Excuse me. He said, I think he said first take was on in one of the corners. He could see that they delayed the tee times. So he actually thought, all right, I saw that it was delayed, so maybe there was a chance I could get out of there and make it. So that's why he started doing his calisthenics. Like, what a scene, dude. What a fucking scene. I'm sure they'll go back to Valhalla.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if they're making that decision.
No, I don't think so.
Especially, imagine if he gets, imagine this goes to trial, does a full thing. That would be wild.
Especially the winner 20 under.
There's probably a lot of people saying, yeah, we should take a look at the whole criminal justice, what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's way over our head. All I know is the number one golfer in the fucking world cannot be catching a felony charge outside of the golf course in which he's competing. I just don't think that should happen in the world in which we live. But hey, who knows? We're the dumb ones. Hey, smart people, figure it out. Speaking of figuring it out, let's figure out a way to give some money away, shall we?
Hell yeah.
I went 0 for 8 on basketball shots that I don't think are indicative of what the Packers season is going to be, even though we were talking about the Packers and introing the Feel the Beat Matt Steinman on his birthday at the time. And he told us that the shirt that he was wearing that clearly said Italy was France. So I'm not going to say that things were not going well there, but that doesn't mean anything about the Packers, right?
No, absolutely not.
Well, how about we make it right with the Packers universe?
Sounds good.
Pac-Man Jones, what do you want to do to win 20 people $500 and turn the tide on what the Packers are having happen from the universe today?
Sweet glasses.
Those are tactical glasses. Actually, they have a yellow lens in them. It's not a blue hue lens. It is a
You
tactical.
can wear them like if you're hunting or you're on a mission. You can wear them.
Bingo. If you're out there in the middle of war, you put those on, you see a little better. Nobody's going to sneak up on you.
Nope.
And they're from Louis Vuitton, too, so you can even wear them to a
Are
fashion.
they night vision too, Pat? Are they night vision?
Depending on what you're looking at.
Yeah, if Scotty had those on,
Okay.
I think you would have been able to see better maybe in the rain.
It would have helped. Those look like something Scotty would wear.
Well, how about the orange jumpsuit? Is that something that look like Scotty would wear?
Yeah.
It's a wild
He's
time.
got to wear it. He needs to show up in at least the top of that jumpsuit for one of the tournaments.
I love afterwards when he was at his press conference, he goes, I'm only talking about the golf. I'm not talking about the arrest. Thank you so much. And then he asked me, he goes, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I was, and then like, he was, but once
He can't
again,
help it. Like, he's a good dude. Like, he's just real.
and then once again, I'm only talking about the golf. The next question, he goes, yeah, I mean, I was pretty confused by it. I don't, like it was every answer he was giving like more and more. I don't want to talk about it, but more and more. It was like, this is an awesome situation. I do feel like he's probably fully embraced it, and he's currently being charged with a felony.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to laugh about, Scotty.
No, stop it.
Free Scotty.
Hashtag free Scotty. You think Scotty Scheffler ever thought he'd be on the end of a hashtag that has free at the beginning of it? No. I mean, the mugshot T-shirts were already on the course.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
The boys were working.
Love that.
Boys are working. Need to get to a steam press quick. Need to get that. Yep.
Yeah, his
need it.
mugshot and then the prison Scotty, Michael Scott meme. That was a good one.
That was good.
Anyways, we hope the family's taking this incredibly serious charge.
Yep.
How they should be. Now, it'd be really cool if a man with tactical glasses on from Louis Vuitton, who has a song called All the Smoke, available now on all platforms, was able to do
Free Scotty.
Free Scotty for the putts. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Scott.
For
I like
Scotty.
that.
Here we
This is
go.
for Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty.
Here we go. Free Scotty till it's back.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what. What if you don't make it? Is Scotty go in jail?
Yeah, 20 plus.
Oh, boy.
This is for Scotty. The universe. We just asked the universe basically to say this one's for Scotty.
The Packers really got off
How
on
many?
this one.
Wow.
Scotty Cameron putter right now. For Scotty
Kind of all lining up.
and for the people. Pac-Man Jones, there is 7 balls there. How many do you think you'll be able to make? Playing pretty good right now. He's seeing the ball well.
All right.
Okay, if he goes 3 of 7, Scotty Scheffler will not go to jail, and 20 people will win $500 on this Football Wednesday. Go ahead, Pac-Man Jones.
You go, Pac.
Good angle from Jabba there.
Whichever one you want.
Great job.
All the smoke available now on all the platforms. Jabba's getting active, obviously, because free Scotty.
Great shoes.
Oh, no, we got a pool there on the first one. Okay. We're going to have to make now 3 of the next 6.
Yes.
3 of the next 6. That's nothing for Pac-Man Jones or Scotty Scheffler. Oh, no.
Pretty good speed, though.
Conviction.
Good speed.
Confidence.
Great
Yep.
speed.
Sweet shorts.
Oh, no.
Holy
Not gonna get
shit.
there.
That's going to...
Oh, no.
Okay, you got to go 3 or 4 here. Before you do that, those shorts are sweet. Did we know there was fur on those shorts?
I didn't see it.
No.
I think is that a Lamborghini logo on your shoes, too?
Ferrari kit.
I'm okay.
I don't know the cars.
3 of 4 here. Pac-Man, 10 people will win. 20 people will win.
Hey! All
right, here we go. If he goes 2 of 3, 20 people will win $500 on this All the Smoke Wednesday.
Ooh, nice.
Bam.
Okay. All of a sudden, it comes down to the final 2 balls. If Adam Pac-Man Jones can bury one of them, 20 people!
Here we go.
Game 7.
Yep.
Game 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. All the smoke is available on all platforms. The music video is out now. And Adam... Oh, I thought he was changed. I thought he had a punt throw. He restrains himself.
For sure.
John Ron.
It's okay. It's all right. What does that mean about Scotty Scheffler? We don't know. But what we do know, all the smoke's a banger. Don't you worry about it. That's a tough green, tough roll. A lot of people have missed a lot of shots on there, but we thought maybe 20 people could win $500 on this glorious Wednesday. Instead, we'll have to delay it 1 week.
Yep.
That's AJ Hawk. The boys are here. In the back, great work, fellas.
Great work.
D-Butch, great week. Pac-Man, incredible work, pal. Hope that Always Smoke Goat ain't excited for tonight. Sounds like you got a big one down there in Cincinnati.
It's gonna be a movie tonight.
Riverfront.
In
Cincinnati.
Yes, sir. American Dream Tour. Are you 21 Savage?
Are you wearing the tactical Louis Vuittons?
I don't know if I'm gonna wear the tactical Louis
Vuittons
tonight.
Those are sick.
You know I'm a big sunglasses guy, so might, you know what I mean, might spazz it up a little bit.
A little pizzazz tonight. As we get the hell out of here, and we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna play the Old Smoke music video.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy the hell out of it. Great production, great song, great banger, and hopefully we'll have a better show for you tomorrow. I doubt it, but there's always a hope. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together, okay? Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.
Record this shit. You smell me? We want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. That right? We want all the smoke. Pack and breeze, packaging these packages, getting mac and cheese. Half of these niggas ain't with that action, they just acting. Actually, they casualties. This ain't just no rapper / no athlete. What you hearing really be happening. Been having things, everything we tech gon' jump like trampolines. I don't need no gasoline, overseas like we speak Japanese. 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, pack moving schizo. 6 flow, big dough, in-house, 10 flow, big bro. Shake him down, shake him low, 36 for the low. Jody, shake him down, shake him low, 36 in the boat, half ounce for the low. Jody got it for the low. Yeah, and once you get it, gotta go. Or somebody call the phone. We want all the smoke. 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 I might pull up, bit by the bend. How about Cartier lens on? Big booty bit, bad about it. I told her to bring all her friends on. I might pull up Rolls Royce with the vet behind me, 2 twins on me. Cartier with a big stone, with a Cuban link, with 100 on me. Real nigga shit, been getting rich. All that whole shit, we ain't finna fall for it. Yeah, who got the smoke? And not just a little bit, bitch, we want all of it. We want all the smoke. Bulldog 44, Dracos on Draco. Killers move when they say so. Run him down like Mako. We want